business, and defensive tackle Jaron Reed, who played 1 year in Green Bay after a fairly long career in Seattle and then returned to the Seahawks last year. Former Green Bay personnel man John Schneider, the Green Bay native, is on the hot seat. He's at the helm of the Seattle Seahawks. He has had 16 drafts, and the trades of Smith and Metcalf kind of ratchet up the pressure on this organization. But Schneider was a part of a Super Bowl championship team with Seattle, and I'll tell you something. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but he's put together another very strong team. We could see that in the joint practice held against the Packers the other day here in Green Bay. John Schneider, absolutely one of the best in the business in personnel, and is on his way to building another very good team in Seattle. As far as the Packers are concerned, they will play their starters here today. Seattle also will play some starters, but mostly we're going to see for Seattle the rookie quarterback Jalen Milroe start the game. He's a third-round draft choice out of Alabama. Those of us who covered the draft were really excited about this kid. He has major league arm talent. There's no doubt about that. He has a quarterback mentality. But what he has are some great legs. I mean, he has great speed for the position, running a sub-4.40 at the combine, and that got people excited about him. Not the most polished of quarterbacks yet, but you could see in the little bit we saw of him in preseason action this year, and we watched it the other day in the practice against the Packers. Jalen Milroe has quite an arm. There's no doubt about that. Jordan Love will not start here today. Malik Willis will play a handful of handful of plays, and his fellow starters who are healthy enough to go will be with him on the field today for about 10 plays, and that'll be it. But Malik Willis will get the start, then Sean Clifford, and then Taylor Elgersma, who's had an excellent preseason in terms of gameplay. At Indy, he was 7 of 11, 109 yards, a 96.4 passer rating a week ago. So it's the Packers and the Seahawks wrapping up the preseason here in Green Bay today. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. This is the Packers Radio Network.
Home game action doesn't actually start in the stadium. It starts at Titletown Game Day Live, presented by American Family Insurance. Kick a field goal on the full-sized football field, grab an ice-cold beverage, and enjoy live outdoor music all in the shadows of Lambeau Field. Festivities start 4 hours before kickoff. We'll see you at Titletown Game Day Live, presented by American Family Insurance on Sunday, when Green Bay hosts the Detroit Lions. The action starts 4 hours before kickoff. Visit Titletown.com for all the details.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Packers tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty at Ticketmaster. 100% verified tickets available all season long. You can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. Get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Packers.
Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, a non-carbonated refresher with alcohol for weekend flavor any day of the week. Like when you get a case of the Mondays, swap it for the bright fruit flavors of Happy Thursday. Or when Tuesday needs a tune-up, look forward to Happy Thursday. And by Wednesday, you're already halfway there. So drink in the weekend flavor of Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, weekend flavor any day of the week. Celebrate responsibly. Non-carbonated, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. 21 and up, contains alcohol. 2024 Molson Coors Beverage Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
To this broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Green Bay Packers Incorporated is prohibited. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves this afternoon on the Green Bay Packers Radio Network. Today's weather check brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Hey, fans, it's our favorite season of Wisconsin, football season. So enjoy the game. Leave the other seasons up to Bryant, who will do whatever it takes to keep your heating and cooling system running efficiently. Find your local dealer at Bryant.com. Temperature 73 degrees, very pleasant here at Lambeau Field. Winds 15 miles per hour from the west to east, and the humidity 54%. Boy, that's a relief. We've been in the humidity ranges of 60 and 70% most of the summer around here. This injury report brought to you by the personal injury law firm of Hupy and Abraham. Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best year after year. Hupy and Abraham, billions of dollars collected for their clients. Hupy and Abraham, visit Hupy.com. On the injury list for the Packers, Jordan Love will not play today with that thumb injury. Jaden Reed at wide receiver out with a foot. Dontavian Wicks, wide receiver, calf injury. Nate Hobbs, the cornerback, out with a knee injury. Xavier McKinney will not play due to a calf injury. And Zane Anderson down with a knee injury. Marshawn Lloyd out with a hamstring today. And those are the major injuries for the Packers. For Seattle, Kenneth Walker not expected to play due to a knee injury. The running back, Torrey Horton, good-looking young receiver, out with an ankle injury today. Tyrese Knight, starting linebacker, down to the knee. And wide receiver, kick returner, Steve Sims, with a hamstring injury, not expected to play here today. We welcome in Larry McCarron and Rock. These two teams spent some time together earlier this week. It was a little chippy at practice, perhaps chippier than the coaches would appreciate. But nonetheless, did you see some good work on the part of the Packers in that practice?
Well, Wayne, I focused on the Packers offense after watching the defense in Indianapolis, and I thought there was a lot of good work. And Jordan Love got some 7-on-7. Malik Willis, Tucker Kraft, and Luke Musgrave showed what a dynamic duo they could be on the field together. I just thought it was a lot of good work at that end of the field.
So here today, and we talked about it a couple of hours ago, you and I, on the pregame show. You wonder, can decisions be changed today? And you wonder about performances, individual performances. Could somebody jump onto the roster that maybe they weren't considering keeping a couple of days ago?
I think the players on the so-called bubble aren't as numerous as people would imagine, but those that are have their last chance to state their case. And I'd much rather state it with a good performance, the last one they look at, the last one they have looked at. I'd rather state my case with a good performance, so you can't hedge any bets, and it's just a tough time of year for young guys on the bubble. And matter of fact, Wayne, as a player, I always thought that if you never got to the point where you knew you were going to be here, I don't know if it would be worth it. And the money was a lot different then, but I just think, the nerves and the waiting and the hoping and so forth, and just, dreading that phone call that may or may not come.
Packers wearing their road jerseys, solid white jerseys with the gold helmets, gold pants, green numbers. Seattle in their navy blue home uniforms, navy blue jerseys, navy blue helmets, gray pants, gray numbers, trimmed in, what would you call that? Highlighter green. There's a lot of Nike in those Seattle uniforms. A lot of it.
Now, Wayne, I got to ask you. You say their numbers are gray. I always thought they were kind of green.
Well, I think they're
maybe
gray.
My eyesight's poor.
They're gray. They're gray, outlined by highlighter green.
Maybe we ought to call them hazel.
So, you can call me whatever you want, Rock.
No, I mean, there's a color of eye called hazel, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're right. Hey, listen, I'm not questioning an academic All-America from a Big Ten school. You know what? Yeah, they're kind of gray, but they've got a lot of... No, you're right. They're green.
Okay, so we corrected that already.
But they looked gray from up here. Anyway, we've got the coin toss and opening kick just ahead. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. You're listening to Packers Football.
Is available. Owning an RV has never been easier. Plus, every RV purchase comes with a free start kit that includes all the essentials to tackle your adventures with confidence. Come on down to the affordable.
From what I understand, it's a pretty complicated offense. There's a lot to be thinking about, especially if you're the quarterback. So, yeah, I think Jalen Milroe is going to be one of those really good steals in this draft, and I can't wait to see him possibly play an entire game.
So we will keep our eye on, obviously, Jalen Milroe and a number of the other young guys who will be playing as we get set to kick things off here in Green Bay. The Seahawks on the field on the far sidelines. They're in their silver pants with the blue jerseys, the home blue jerseys, and the blue helmets, while the Packers are in their white jerseys with the gold pants, yellow pants, basically, and the traditional Green Bay helmet with the G on the side of it. My guess is they decided to go with the white jerseys because this time of year here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's hot, it's humid, and you want to be as cool as you can. As it turns out, we've got an overcast day here with a very nice breeze blowing as the captains head to the center of the field. And so for the Seahawks, a couple of the captains, Jake Bobo being one, Brady Russell, the tight end / fullback, being another. Tariq Young, a young man that we will probably be talking about a fair amount during this game, not only because he's a good receiver, but a special team player as well. Here's Brad Rogers.
Welcome to this final preseason game. This is the coin that we will use today. This is heads. This side is tails. What is your call? Heads. Heads is the call. It is tails. You win the toss. Which way would you like to kick? Green Bay has won the toss. They will receive on this end of the field. Good luck, gentlemen.
So the Seahawks will get the ball first. And here we go, getting set for this final preseason contest of the 2025 preseason. All in all, I think, Dave, you'd have to agree, it's probably gone, with the exception of a couple of guys getting dinged up a little bit, probably gone pretty much to what Mike and John and the rest of the staff would like it to do.
Well, I think the main emphasis was on the offense, right? They had to start fast. We started exactly a month ago, and you got to install this offense. And, you know, and I thought maybe it would go the way the defense went last year. They started off kind of slow, and then they got better the second half. So far, the indication that we've gotten from this offense is that, number one, they can run the ball. And that's something that they, you know, first and foremost wanted to get done. And they really did. But, you know, now you start to see Mike McDonald sort of put his stamp on this team. Like, the warm-ups, you know, the guys were barely moving around out there, and they want to peak right before the game. And he said, you know, in the past, and who thinks about warm-ups? Mike McDonald. Yeah. You know, he thinks about every aspect of this of a game day, basically. So yeah, it's really cool to see that. But I think the most impressive thing, Steve, has been the fast start this offense got off to.
And I beg your pardon, I said the Packers were going to kick off. They don't. They receive the kick, and it's going to bounce in and out of the back of the end zone. As Brad Rogers led me astray there for just a moment on who actually was going to kick and who was going to return. As it is, the Packers will come out and start now at their own 35-yard line, and the Seahawks see any of the familiar names we know on defense. Pritchard, one of the cornerbacks. Okada, one of the safeties, is out there. Thomas, one of the inside backers. O'Connell, Patio as they call him, the other middle linebackers, had a terrific camp, by the way. He's out there as well. Shaquille Griffin, I beg your pardon, one of the former Seahawks who's back again with his team. And under center for Green Bay is Malik Willis. He's going to turn and hand off on this first play, trying to bounce the ball to the left side. Getting outside, but then not very far after that. A 5-yard gain. That's Josh Jacobs. So he's the starter at the tailback spot for Green Bay, and he's starting the game today. Okada and Ivy, the two tacklers for the Packers, coming up to make the play, and a gain, as we said, of 5.
Yeah, Jared Ivey has been one of those guys that's really stood out, and you know he's kind of an alpha male out on the field, and he's one of the guys that has really helped this defense go.
A play fake this time by Willis. He's going to throw and misses his tight end on a little flat pass, and that's in part because he had one of the Seahawks players leaping in front of him just as he was trying to make the throw. It was intended for Luke Musgrave, a young man that you know his dad.
Yeah.
pretty well as a former player and coach.
Well, his uncle, actually.
I beg your pardon. His uncle.
Bill Musgrave, we had him in Denver. He's a backup quarterback, and they love this kid. He is a really good athlete.
So here we go, 3rd down and 5 for the Packers from their own 40-yard line. Motion on the far side. Willis takes the shotgun snap, steps back in the pocket, going to throw down the middle of the field. It's going to be almost. Did he intercept it? He did intercept it, a diving interception. It's Okada. He reaches out one hand and brings it in. I think they're going to want to look at this, but a spectacular interception if it stands. And here comes the entire defense out on the field. They're all going to run to the far end zone. We might see a flag, but at this point, I don't think anybody cares. If that stands, that's going to be an unbelievable interception. If it doesn't, it's just a long incompletion.
Boy, I think he got it. I think he got his hand underneath it, but he could not have stretched his body out any further. It looked like Devin Witherspoon out there. I mean, it's just amazing that he made that catch. And I think when he came down and hit the ground, his hand was underneath the ball.
It looked like it. I see space.
Yeah, and the ball didn't move either. And that's the other thing they look for, is once he gets his hand on it, is it moving around? And it didn't appear to be.
Brad Rogers, our referee already, coming over to the near side, is going to take a look at the replay here, down around the 20-yard line.
Looks like my cat in the backyard catching a bird in midair. Like he is just entirely stretched out. It was like somebody was pulling his leg and his arm at the same time. It's ridiculous. What a great catch.
If in fact this stands on a one-handed interception by Ty Okada, he returned the ball 23 yards, so the Seahawks would have it at their own 40-yard line to start. So the PA announcer here in the stadium is telling all the fans that this is exactly what the official, Brad Rogers, is doing on the near sidelines. They're getting a much closer look than you can get on the big screen. Fans took one look at it. They thought, oh, no, he couldn't have possibly caught it. Well, it's taken a long time for the officials to make this judgment.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that was a great, it looked like he was in a zone, and he sprinted to, and it looked like, I think it was Patio that was running down the seam with that receiver, and he kind of came over the top, Okada did, and yeah, Patrick O'Connell, or maybe that was Drake Thomas. He was actually one of the captains today, and he has really showed up well, but he was running stride for stride with the receiver there, and then Okada just comes over the top and reaches his hand out, and I think he's got it. Like I said, they look for movement, and I didn't see the ball move.
No, I didn't either. I think the biggest question, and here's Brad Rogers, he's going to remove the headset now, and he's going to tell us all exactly what happened or how they interpret what happened, as he's talking to another one of his official buddies as he's walking back toward the field. Now he's talking to some other folks down on the sidelines. And from the looks of things, they're going to call this an interception. And the Seahawks offense is going to come on the field as well as the Packers defense.
Well, those are the kind of plays you want to make if you're Ty Okada. Perfectly timed for him.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Seattle.
Well, there you go. Ty, you'll want to take that video, put it in your phone, and show it to everybody you know for the rest of your life. Because that's as good as it gets right there, my friend. And so, the first takeaway of the game, the Seahawks get it. And they'll start 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line, and out of the huddle comes Jalen Milroe, the Alabama star. Martinez, the single setback behind him. Young goes in motion from right to left. Martinez hit in the backfield and spun down. Going to maybe get a yard out of the play, but that's about it. Coming across the formation to make the play is Rashawn Gary. Packers have a bunch of their starters out on the field right now, and the Seahawks have virtually none.
I think that might be the most ineffective run play that they've had in the preseason, and picked up close to a yard, but yeah, they've just done a great job of opening holes.
On a 2nd down, throw down the middle, ball is caught, 1st down and then some. Just a nice read by Jalen Milroe, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, gets it to his big tight end collar up for 11 yards and a first down.
Tight ends are going to factor huge in this offense, and I think we're going to see A.J. Barner, I think, is going to be one of those tight ends that is, maybe one of the best in franchise history. And he just has a great start. He had a great rookie year, and they really use tight ends in this offense a lot.
Bobo and Valdez-Scantling in a slot to the near side. Milroe out of the shotgun, play fake to Martinez. Milroe's going to roll right. He's going to throw downfield and miss his intended receiver, who was Derek Young, coming all the way from the far side of the field, crossing over to the right, and just missed Young by about a step as he was throwing across his body. It's going to bring up now 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball at the 48-yard line of Green Bay.
Yeah, I would say, if you look at the Milroe on that play, he did kind of the little read option thing, and I've seen him sort of leave it in the running back's hands longer than that, and I think he kind of pulled that out a little bit too early.
Milroe under center is going to hand it to Jacardier Wright, who starts up the middle, bounces it out to the right side, runs into Valdez-Scantling, the former Packer, who was blocking for him, and he's pushed out of bounds just shy of the Green Bay, we'll call it the 45-yard line, just a couple of yards picked up. 3rd down now and 8, just underway here in Green Bay. 12:38 to play in this first quarter, no score.
And Jacardier Wright has really had a good camp. He's really shown up, and he is that same kind of style that K9 and Charbonnet have for that wide zone blocking system that they're using.
Slot left. Milroe looks that way, gets hit. Now he's going to go down. Tripped up and dropped back at the Seattle 45-yard line. Quay Walker, the middle linebacker, a loss of 8. So again, the starters opening this game defensively for the Packers, taking advantage of the young, inexperienced offensive linemen up there for the Seahawks. Make a couple of plays, and on comes Michael Dixon to punt.
Yeah, you can kind of see the difference there when you have the ones out there on the field, right? And they have their starting defense out there, and they're a good defense.
Hardman deep for the Packers, back at his own 10. Right here is where a number of these young guys will be able to make this team on the special teams. Beautiful end-over-end kick. Going to bounce at about the 6, bounce down to the 4, and that's where it's down. You just can't ask Michael Dixon to do any better, and great coverage by his cover guys. 11:24 to play here in this first quarter. In Lambeau Field, no score, the Packers and the Seahawks on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
Welcome to the summer of good at your neighborhood Abby's Legendary Pizza Parlor. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating P&W summers for over 60 years. Visit abby's.com and celebrate good with our awesome local community. Legendary fun at the Legendary Pizza Place. All summer, some of our most popular pizzas are on sale. They're giant, loaded to the edge with premium, fresh summer toppings and feature classic recipes from 1964. Now, that's good for your stomach and your wallet. No summer shrinkflation, just good taste and good value. Legendary fun at the Legendary Pizza Place. This summer, celebrate good at family-owned Abby's. Order today's giant special at abby's.com.
Dental anxiety is one of the most common reasons people put off getting the dental care they need. I'm Dr. Bradshaw, Premier Care Dental, where we offer IV sedation to help those with severe dental anxiety. We are here to help and look forward to making a difference in your life.
Do you have missing, failing, hurting, or broken teeth? Get the treatments you need at a price that is affordable for you without compromising on quality. At Premier Care Dental, we make it easy. We offer IV sedation, dental implants, cosmetic, preventative, and restorative dentistry. A complimentary consultation includes an exam and x-rays. Insurance a problem? We offer our own in-house savings plan. Ask about our new finance options. Mention this radio ad and receive your first implant for $9.90 or your first crown for $7.90. Restrictions apply and all promotions depend upon your clinical exam. Premier Care Dental has 4 locations in Ashland, Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls. Call us today, 541-200-6747, and at premiercaredental.com.
Big 12's this football season, 2 premier Northwest franchises are teaming up, Columbia Bank and the Seattle Seahawks. Columbia Bank is a proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks, member FDIC. After that 50-yard punt, the Packers start back on their own 4-yard line. Willis again under center, single setback behind him. Seattle 5 defenders at the line of scrimmage. The handoff goes straight ahead. That's Chris Brooks, a third-year player out of BYU. That's a 7-yard gain. And O'Connell comes up to help make that tackle, among others. Right back to the line of scrimmage come the Packers on a 2nd down and 3. Willis, quick snap, drops back 7, looks, fires down the far side, coming back to make the catch inside of the defender and rolling down right at midfield is the rookie out of the University of Texas, Matthew Golden. A first-round draft choice, a 39-yarder, and he just reaches inside the defender on the far side of the field. I believe that was Pritchett.
Yeah, Nehemiah Pritchett probably couldn't have had better coverage on that. He was all over him, and what a great catch by Golden there, and that's their first-round draft choice, and first time a wide receiver has been drafted in Green Bay since forever, like 22 years.
1st and 10, right at midfield, handoff again. Goes to the running back, Brooks. He is hammered down by Ty Okada coming up from that safety spot, but still he picks up 7, so a couple of nice runs by Brooks since he's come into the game, and he's trying to make this team behind. A couple of really good backs. Obviously, Josh Jacobs, we know he ran the ball once already today. Emmanuel Wilson is a pretty good one as well. Marshawn Lloyd. So kind of a log jam and running back for these Packers, who are now in Seahawks territory. 2nd down and 2 at the 42 of the Hawks. Single setback. Handoff once again. Hit in the backfield this time and dragged down. Just getting inside the 45-yard line.
Tyreek Smith with an inside move there, Rabes, and he has had a really good camp. He had a good game, that first preseason game.
That was on Brooks, by the way, the running back, and a Seahawk stays down, and it's Ivy who is staying down right near the 45-yard line, landed on his stomach. And so we will take a timeout right here while the trainers head to the center of the field to check on Ivy. This is the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
All right, Southern Oregon, are you thinking about popping the question? Then let's talk about the ring. Because if you're going to ask the biggest question of your life, you want to do it right. I'm Matthew with Root Jewelers. We have an incredible selection of stunning engagement rings, classic solitaires, dazzling halos, vintage-inspired designs. Whatever their style, we've got the perfect ring to match. But what if you want something truly unique? That's where we shine. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design a ring just for you. Our expert jewelers will bring your vision to life, crafting a one-of-a-kind piece that's as special as your love story. At Root Jewelers, quality and craftsmanship come first. We believe finding the perfect engagement ring should be exciting, stress-free, and fun. Our team is here to guide you through every step of the way so you can focus on the big moment ahead. If you're ready to make it official, come see us at Root Jewelers in downtown Medford. Let's find or create the perfect ring for your perfect proposal. Root Jewelers, helping you get the yes.
Oregon summers are perfect for road trips. But did you know your car could start a wildfire? Tie up dragging tow chains and loose car parts to prevent them from hitting the pavement and casting sparks. If you need to pull over, park where there is asphalt, gravel, or dirt and away from combustible dry grass. Also, check coolant levels to prevent overheating. Carry a fire extinguisher in your vehicle at all times to extinguish any fires that may get started.
Keep Oregon green.
Learn more about wildfire prevention at keeporegongreen.org.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
Play there for the Seahawks. They lose 2 players. We'll tell you about it in a minute. Meantime, the Packers looking at a 3rd down and 3 back to the line of scrimmage at the Seattle side of the field. The handoff. And O'Connell is there for yet another tackle on Brooks. Stays there about the 41, 42-yard line. So Jared Ivey was the one appeared to be the most seriously injured, the rookie linebacker, and he had to be helped off the field. Ivey from Mississippi and also played at Georgia Tech for a time. And then while he was being treated, the cornerback, Nehemiah Pritchett, was also talking to trainers. They helped him off the field. So 4th down and 2 for the Packers. Going to go for it right here at the Seattle 42. Willis out of the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to scramble right side. Has some running room. Looks like he might pick it up, and he does. Dives forward inside the 40. Being chased, but just not quite able to get there and bring him down was Jamie Sheriff. And so Willis picks up 6 and a first down. The Packers keep the ball with 8.5 minutes to play here in this first quarter and no score.
Yeah, Willis has some speed there and got around the corner. It was really good coverage downfield. There wasn't anybody open, and Patrick O'Connell had his guy blanketed, and he comes up and actually makes the tackle there. But yeah, good hustle by Jamie Sheriff there, and yeah, I mean that's a really mobile quarterback that they're chasing around out there.
Willis under center here on 1st and 10 at the Seattle 36. Going to hand it to Brooks straight ahead over that right side. Draws a crowd. Pushed back to about the 34-yard line. He might spot his forward progress closer to the 33. Malik Willis, once thought to be the quarterback in waiting at Tennessee, a former 3rd-round draft choice there, just did not work out for him at all and was traded by Tennessee in 2024. And he's found a place here in Green Bay, backing up Jordan Love, who will not see any action today. 2nd down and 7. Seattle 33. Willis again under center. Single setback as Brooks slot to the near side. Brooks gets it straight ahead, avoids one man at the line of scrimmage, but he can't avoid Patio. Patrick O'Connell wraps him up around the ankles and waits for the rest of the cavalry to show up and brings him down for maybe a short gain of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down.
I think Patio's probably been in on 4 or 5 tackles today. He's all over the field. And, coming into camp, I was a little worried about the depth at inside backer, and he has had the kind of camp where you don't worry about it anymore. He really has been flying around the field, got a chance to talk to him, and just a great kid, and he's playing really hard, along with Drake Thomas, who also is helping out the depth at inside backer.
3rd down and 6, and now a timeout is called by Matt LaFleur on the near sidelines as the clock was ticking down. The Packers,
their first, the 32nd timeout.
Remember, the Packers started at their own 4-yard line. This is the 9th play of the drive. And I just saw, I'll keep an eye on it over on the far sidelines, it looked like another Seahawks player kind of was walking gingerly off the field, one of the defensive backs, and it might have been Waxter, the rookie out of Villanova. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, as John always likes to say, John Schneider, you just can't get these games over with fast enough because you hope that nobody gets hurt. Pacific Office Automation is a proud sponsor of the Seahawks and the Northwest's #1 provider of office technology. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved. So hopefully none of those injuries that we've just seen are in any way serious. 3rd down and 6 at the Seattle 32. Willis drops back. He has a little running room to the left side, but he finds an opening, makes the throw, and it's complete. Malik Heath, young player out of Mississippi, for a 10-yard gain. Tough to cover guys, Dave, that long. If you can't get enough pressure on a guy like Willis, when he gets out of the pocket, he can throw.
Well, and he was running pretty hard to his left and had to kind of throw the ball across his body. And, when you have, I love mobile quarterbacks. And that's why I'm so excited to see Jalen Milroe today. But, they're such a nightmare. They really are. And he just extends that like it's a moving pocket almost. And, he's just always on the run.
Willis again with a handoff to Brooks. This time the Seahawks do a great job in swarming the ball as Brooks heads to the left side of his offensive line, picks up maybe 3 down at about the 20-yard line of the Seahawks. The clock continues to move now. 5:45 to play here in this first quarter. No score, but the Packers threatening.
Big number 92, Bohanna, has really had at interior defensive line. He's really had a good camp. Coaches talking about him, and and I know the veterans love him, and he plays his tail off, and he's made a number of tackles.
Play fake by Willis, rolls to the right side, looks, throws downfield, high pass, incomplete. Intended for the rookie, Golden. Got one hand on it, couldn't get the other. Shaquille Griffin on coverage. Once again, another third down play coming up for the Packers.
Yeah, that was another move that made me feel a lot better, is getting Shaquille back here, because, he's a very solid, well-traveled corner that, you can count on, and I think that there's maybe a little bit of depth problem there, and he's played well, and it's really nice having him back out there.
Schneider and company thought well enough of him back in the day to draft him in the third round, so here he is again, 3rd and 7 now for Willis. Here comes the rush. Willis has all kinds of open territory in front of him. Turns upfield, down to the 10, steps out of bounds at the 6. And the Seahawks, again, just having trouble keeping contain on a mobile quarterback. O'Connell couldn't catch up with him, and Ty O'Connell couldn't get over there fast enough. It's a 13-yard gain, and a Packers first down, 1st and goal at the 6.
Well, this is one of those things, Steve, like you don't really game plan for preseason games, and so guys they're trying their best pass rush moves. They're trying to get upfield, trying to get pressure on him, and I think if you game plan for Willis, you're going to kind of have a mush rush, kind of keep him in the pocket, just make sure he doesn't get out and use his legs.
Straight ahead, handoff down to the 2-yard line. It's Emmanuel Wilson, another young running back out of Fort Valley State. And it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 2 for Green Bay.
Patio with another, we used to call it JOP, jump on pile. That counts. Counts as an assist. But he's just all over the place.
14th play of the drive by Green Bay. Willis will start under center with a tight wing on his left side. Single wide out far side, that's where the ball is going. It's going to be a pass interference call because the defender on the play for Seattle just never turned back to the ball. That's DeMarion Williams, the veteran.
Pass
and he faced up the wide receiver.
Number 37. Ball's placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Did a good job in facing up the wide receiver, but then never turned back to find the ball, and they're going to throw the flag every time.
Yeah, and also, I think that if he hadn't used his hands there, it probably would have gone off the back of his helmet. And because he had him entirely covered, but he just got a little bit too handsy there and, got the penalty.
Willis wants to throw to the end zone. He does, and it's a touchdown, Green Bay, to Romeo Doubs. So Matt LaFleur sprinkling in a bunch of his starters here in this opening quarter against the Seahawks. Doubs, a Pro Bowler a few years back, and remember caught a couple of touchdown passes against the Hawks last December in a big Green Bay win at Lumen Field. So the Green Bay Packers go on top 6-0 here with 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. A 14-play drive. On for the PAT is McManus. It's up and through. And so 4:01 officially to play here in this first quarter, and the Packers jump out on top of the Seahawks 7-0.
At BECU, we're proud members of the 12s community. Jersey casual dress code on Blue Fridays, hoarse voices on Monday mornings, and flying that 12 flag every day of the week. We know how much the 12s love to show their pride, because we do too.
That's a great way to start with your starters.
Yes.
A lot of positive momentum there.
I think we've seen enough, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want them carting anybody off.
Snap placement in the swing of the right leg. The kick is up. It is good. 4:01 to go in the first quarter. Green Bay 7, Seattle 0. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. You're listening to Packers Football.
To lung cancer experts who specialize in diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up care. Find a doctor and schedule an online appointment today at vmfh.org/Seahawks.
Hey, Seattle Seahawks fans, ready for some football? But what happens when life tackles you too hard? Accidents can happen on and off the field. When they do, you need a strong compensation you deserve. Don't let an injury sideline your life. Call Carpenter and Zuckerman Personal Injury Lawyers today and get the justice you deserve.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Back here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, the Packers with a 14-play, 96-yard drive. Took almost 7.5 minutes off the clock. Dobbs with the 1-yard touchdown reception. On a 4th and 2, Willis scrambled for 6 yards. That kept that drive going. And so here we are, the Seahawks. We have a couple of guys deep. By the way, the press box here in Green Bay is really high. So as I'm trying to locate the guys, it looks like for the Seahawks, Tyus and Hall are the two deep men. Through most of the preseason, it's been Holani and Young, but a couple of the youngsters now. Here's an end-over-end kick. It's going to be 5 yards deep, and that's going to be downed by Hall. And so the Hawks will start 1st and 10. Seahawks football brought to you by Tulalip Resort Casino. Gaming excitement, dining, live entertainment, luxury accommodations, and spa. When all you want is everything, Tulalip Resort Casino. Details at everythingtulalip.com. Please game responsibly. And so they bring the ball out, do the officials to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Seahawks will start once again with rookie Jalen Milroe, the Alabama rookie, two-time captain at Bama, 78 career touchdowns, 45 passing, 33 rushing, number 4 in Bama history. He is a good one. 1st and 10 at the 35. He'll start out of the shotgun with a tight slot to his left. Quick throw far side, ball is caught, and running into his own man is Valdez Scantling. He ran into his blocker who was trying to get out there and lead the way. That was Amari Kite, the left tackle. And Scantling tried to cut back inside and ran right into his tackle. Just a yard gain.
Yeah, I think you got to get there a little bit faster on that block. The timing was just off of it. And I don't know if the MVS did anything wrong there. I just think the timing, the tackle, Kite did not get out there fast enough to get that block.
2nd down, we'll call it 9. Milroe out of the shotgun. 2 tight ends on the left side. The handoff goes straight ahead. Trying to dive under a couple of blockers is Anthony Tyus, the 3rd. He'll pick up about 2 yards. Tough time for a young quarterback, Dave, with some young running backs and even younger offensive linemen in front of him.
Well, yeah, and then, you've got a complicated offense here. And, again, you don't get a lot of reps when you're the 3rd-string quarterback. And so, yeah, maybe he'll get going here in a little bit. He needs to start using his leg. I was talking earlier about Willis and how he's doing that. And hopefully we see Milroe start to scramble a little bit more, and that'll loosen it up.
3rd down and 7. Milroe, look out. He's going to go down. Ball comes out. Was he down on the ground? The ball's picked up by one of the Packers who's headed to the end zone. It looked like Milroe might have been down when the ball was stripped away. So far, the officials are saying touchdown. You know that's going to be reviewed, as all scores are. It was Kingsley Enagbare who grabbed the loose ball on the ground from Milroe and took off, and Jalen just had no time at all. As he hit his back foot, he was surrounded and dropped. And it appears that this is going to be a touchdown, Green Bay. So a takeaway each way, a Ty Okada interception, and now an Enagbare fumble recovery for a touchdown. Right now makes it 13-0 the Packers.
Well, the first few plays we saw with Milroe, he was, out on the edge and using his feet and moving in the pocket. And the last couple have been, there's been 3 where it's just a straight drop back.
So I thought that the contact was made and the ball came out. He was down by contact. And so, in fact, it's not going to be a touchdown. It will be 1st down Green Bay. They recovered the ball, but it wasn't a 1st down. So onto the field comes the offense for the Pack. And Green Bay is going to change up at quarterback. Malik Willis, they've seen enough. Sean Clifford now, the former Penn State star, comes on. The Seahawks defense comes back on the field. So still, with 2:38 to play here in the first quarter, still a 7-0 ball game with the Packers on top.
Yeah, you kind of feel for Milroe. I mean, he has not gotten much time, and a rookie out there, and especially in the, just the straight drop back game, that's not his strong suit. Really, getting out on the edge, moving pocket, all that. Those are the kind of plays that benefit him the most. But they want to see him in a pocket, drop back situation. Can he manage it at quarterback and without using his feet?
Tight slot for the Packers. Quick throw far side. Great play by the Seahawks on defense far side. It's Williams. Demarion Williams comes up, takes the blocker, pushes him right back into the receiver on a quick smoke screen to the right side, and a loss of a yard. You just can't play it any better than that.
And he played that as well as the play with MVS, where it was a similar type of thing, just a little quick smoke screen, a lineman out there, and he came up, Williams did, and just wrecked the entire play.
So second down now, and a little more than 10 for Clifford. He's going to hand the ball off. Ball is going to be on the ground. It's fumbled by the running back. Abanaconda puts it on the ground in the exchange with the quarterback Clifford, a loss of 5 on that play. So suddenly the Packers are finding out what it's like to have a lot of younger players in there going against the Seahawks defense.
What a great play by big number 70 Singleton. He did a great job of getting off his block, and he just reached his big old paw out there, knocked the ball out, and while he was holding off a tackle with his other arm.
Third down and 16. Clifford looks to throw, sets up a screen pass right side. Ball is caught, getting it back to the original line of scrimmage, but nothing more. Thomas in on the tackle, your buddy 52, O'Connell. He's been in on a bunch of them, and that'll bring up fourth down and long, and here comes the field goal team on for the Pack.
Tell you what, Tyreek Smith, haven't gotten a chance to talk about him. He's already made a couple of plays, including the one where there was an injury, but he just had an inside pass rush that was just awesome, and then he just entirely disrupted that play. He's a guy that they drafted a few years ago out of Ohio State, and he's really been making some plays.
Here's the kick by McManus. It's up and good from 48. And so with 37 seconds left to play here in this first quarter, the Packers, instead of a 14-0 lead, take a 10-zip lead over the Seahawks. They'll keep it right here at Lambeau Field as the Hawks will get the ball back here. And I will tell you that as we get set here to move on to the second quarter in just a little more than 30 seconds, we're going to change seats for the next 15 minutes, as Jen Mueller is going to step in and take over the play-by-play duties. Everything is fine. I'm not, blacking out up here because of a height or anything like that. This is a great opportunity for Jen, and she's a terrific broadcaster, and she does play-by-play, and this is going to be just a fun thing for her. And I'm going to have a brat and sit down. I'm not really. I'm going to stay right here. But that's coming up here for the second quarter, so stay tuned for that. The Seahawks will have 2 female play-by-play broadcasters, one on TV, one on radio, coming up here in another 37 seconds. So good on the Seahawks, and we know that Jen, as Kate Scott does for the TV side, they do a great job. Tyrus and Hall, the 2 deep men, this one's going to come down to Tyrus across the 10, 15, 20, 25, finds a little room 30 out to the 35, maybe almost the 36-yard line, and that's where the Hawks will start first and 10. And again, as we said, Milroe's going to go the whole way at quarterback today, unless, of course, something happens. Drew Lock does have his uniform on just in case.
I'll try to take good care of Jen Mueller, and you enjoy your beer and your brat. Is that what you said you were going to get?
Well, I was just sort of kidding. I'm certainly not going to go down to the field and try to do what Jen does, because she's too good at that. Milroe on the handoff, straight ahead for maybe a yard or 2. Just a short gain on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mentioned Satoa Lamea just kind of threw a little bit of a haymaker in there when he went up to block that. Yeah, and I was talking about how this team has some dog in them. Like, they're fighters. And, he's a very nice young man off the field, but, man, he is ferocious on the field.
And it's Martinez who's in the backfield. There was movement up front. So that's going to cost the Hawks 5, I expect. The officials are going to talk about it, but we see the Seahawks moving back.
Start. Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Bryce Cabledew, one of the rookies, 6th-round draft choice. He was injured last week, hurt his forearm or his elbow, and we thought it was serious. Happy to see him back as well. That's the end of one here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's the Packers on top of the Seahawks 10-0. When we come back, Jen Mueller takes over the controls of this ship. We'll see you a bit later.
For the Seahawks, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize your performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving game day broadcasts from lag time, connecting 60,000 plus live fans at the stadium, delivering benefits of the cloud for your network, secure as a defensive line, legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Service is not available everywhere.
David, honey, this is your Seahawks intervention.
I don't have a problem.
David, you painted the entire house action green.
So?
You wanted to name our daughter the 12s. Listen, download the Fuel Forward app. Every 8+ gallon fill up at 76 and Conoco stations gives you a chance to win a VIP game day experience.
I can fuel my car and my Seahawks obsession.
In moderation, David. In moderation. Terms and conditions apply. See official rules at 76.com/Seahawks-rules.
Listen up, Seahawks fans. Shop and Score Sweepstakes is back at Safeway. Shop, score, and enter for a chance to win a 2025 Toyota Tacoma, VIP game experiences, groceries for a year, and more. Just buy 5 participating items in a single transaction to enter for a chance to win. Safeway has all your game day tailgate favorites, from fried chicken to fresh-cut fruit and vegetable trays, and tons of easy meal options. Save time and shop online at Safeway.com. Safeway, the official supermarket of the Seahawks.
Today's students are smart, savvy, and heading towards a future filled with possibilities. Education is the light that can help guide them on their path to fulfilling their dreams. That's why Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. With every lottery game you play in the pursuit of making your dreams a reality, you're supporting the next generation of game changers who are using education as the way to reach theirs. Thanks for playing, Washington.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. 15 minutes in the books, and the Packers with a 10-0 lead. Seattle, well, they've just flipped into the field, so now they're going to move from right to left on your radio dial. 2nd and 14 after a penalty prior to the snap. Jen Mueller alongside Dave Wyman. I'll be taking over as Steve has a brat and maybe even a beer during the second quarter. And Dave, what we are really looking for right here is the Seahawks offense to get going and to find a little bit of a groove.
Yeah, it really has been a big difference having the young guys in there, and you just want to see them execute this offense.
Shotgun snap from Milroe, drops back, looks to the middle of his field, got his receiver at the 35-yard line. Catch is made, MVS, for a 5-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I think for Jalen Milroe, they're really kind of forcing him to, they're calling plays where he's not really using his feet. It's just a drop back pass, and he needs to be that kind of quarterback as well. This offense isn't all about just running the ball and running play action. You've got to be a pocket passer as well, and those are the kinds of plays that they've called for him.
Shotgun snap again. The handoff goes to the running back, Damian Martinez. He jukes his way down the field a couple of yards. He is going to be close to the line to gain, but that spot, I think, is going to come up short. We will wait for the official measurement. Martinez gets 8 on the play. He needs 9, 4th and 1. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, interesting at running back. There's, I'm wondering how many that they're going to keep, because you've got George Halani to go along with Sharps and K9 as well. But Martinez He kind of has a little flash, kind of a little flare of Marshawn Lynch.
He does. He is not nearly Marshawn's size, but he runs with a certain type of aggression. Right now, action is paused on the field as they are taking an official measurement, which I got to be honest, Dave, as somebody who was a member of the chain gang for a long time, it is going to take me a while to get used to this new system where you don't bring the chains out. They're going to let the Hawkeye system do it from the sky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many problems it solves, because really it's about where do you spot the ball.
Right.
You know, I mean, where's the guy's knee go down, and maybe you could put a chip in a football or whatever, and I'm sure we're headed that way. I think, if you have the technology to get it right, why not? Right? But I don't know how much this is going to help.
Well, it certainly has not saved the time that they have anticipated. Now, it is preseason for everybody, and they're just trying to get into a flow. I will tell you, having been somebody, again, on the sidelines, it is remarkable how close they get that spot consistently. And you look and you go, man, how in the world can you see through it? They've watched just as many games, just as much film, and it all kind of slows down when you're in the zone. So.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jen, because, it kind of sounded like I was criticizing the officials. They do a great job, the officials in the NFL.
And the virtual measurement confirmed what we saw from up here in the booth. It is going to be short of the first down, so they are going to mark it just inches away from the line to gain. The offense stays on the field. Martinez in the backfield. Milroe under center, trips to the left side. It is Milroe on the keeper, takes it straight ahead. He has got the inch that he needed and more. First down for Seattle.
Now the Packer defenders are saying they have the ball. They're pointing the other way. I don't know what happened at the bottom of that pile. I'm sure someone's up to no good down there.
I can guarantee you of that. And as Steve mentioned, it is a long way up here. We are getting the official signal from the ref. Somewhere along the way, there was a fumble. It was recovered by the Packers. So all of that momentum for the Seahawks, it goes back Green Bay's way. They are going to take over 1st and 10 at about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, it was really hard to see where that ball was. There was probably 6 or 7 defenders in our way there. And, yeah, it's very, very discouraging.
Well, we'll let them regroup. The Seahawks defense is on the field, and we will be back with 13:46 to play here at Lambeau Field.
Hey, Seahawks fans, this is Steve Rabel for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Coaching a winning team requires planning ahead and keeping all your players healthy. Virginia Mason Franciscan Health's primary care providers help you coordinate your family's care, including annual physicals, screenings, and immunizations. So keep your home team healthy. Find a provider and schedule an online appointment today at vmfh.org/Seahawks. vmfh.org/Seahawks.
Your perfect Seahawks game day begins at the American Family Insurance House, located in the Lumen Field Event Center. Before each game, stop by for exclusive Seahawks swag, hang with fellow fans, and put your football skills to the test with Protect the End Zone, an interactive game where you step into the cleats of a Seahawks defender. Make your next trip to Lumen a game changer, only at the American Family Insurance House. Learn more at amfam.com/Seahawks.
At BECU, we're proud members of the 12s community. Jersey casual dress code on Blue Fridays, hoarse voices on Monday mornings, and flying that 12 flag every day of the week. We know how much the 12s love to show their pride, because we do too. That's why we give our members a chance to show their Seahawks pride with every purchase. So join us and get the Seahawks Debit MasterCard from BECU, the official debit card of the Seattle Seahawks. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Place your bets. Caesars Sportsbook at Knuckleshoot is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, bet, and win. Bet on all your favorite sports: football, hockey, basketball, soccer, baseball, tennis, boxing, and MMA. Let the bets begin at the biggest and best in the Northwest. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Please gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. Seattle trailing Green Bay 10-0, 13:46 to go here. Jalen Milroe got the first down. but then he fumbled, recovered by the Packers. So this is the second straight drive that Green Bay is going to start inside Seattle territory. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. Under center is the quarterback, single back. Wide receivers to either side. The turn, the handoff. Yards are there across the 40-yard line before the stop is made by the Seahawks defense. That's going to be a big gain of 8, bringing up 2nd and 2.
Well, and this is something you don't usually see as far as this defense goes, is just, running right up the middle. That's the strong point of this defense. And, obviously we've got younger guys in there, but Patrick O'Connell and Drake Thomas have been very busy making tackles in the middle of the field.
And for the Packers, it is Taylor Elgersma who is going to be a quarterback. He is the Canadian. If I trip over his words, we're just going to call him the Canadian. The handoff goes to Emmanuel Wilson in the back. He's got enough for the first down, continues to push the pile. He's across the 40-yard line, a gain of 5.
And like I said, linebackers are making lots of tackles, and that's sometimes not a good thing. Your defensive line's getting pushed around out there. So definitely, look, we don't see any of the starters out there, and this is typically something that doesn't happen. But, yeah, when your linebackers are making, tackles 5, 6, 7 yards downfield, a lot of times that's your defensive line's just not holding their own.
Elgersma surveying the line of scrimmage under center, single setback, wide out in motion, gets the handoff. It's an end around. He's got all sorts of room. He's going to step out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. I think the boundary there saved the Seahawks a little bit. That was a nice play and a gain of 13 for the Packers as they continue their drive.
Yeah, McCole Hardman, they timed that perfect, but he went in motion, the wide receiver, and then, a handoff there. And, you got to stay outside on the backside. It's very hard to do that when a play is, so far away from you, but you got to always anticipate and try to turn that thing back in. The Seahawks defense did not.
Wilson stays on the field as the running back. Under center goes the quarterback. Seahawks showing blitz, the handoff. Kicks it out to the right side across the 20, the 25, brought down at about the 10-yard line. In on the stop is Patrick O'Connell, but it is a gain of 9 as they are finding all sorts of yards. Now, Dave, if I was going to find the silver lining in this, remember we talked to Patrick O'Connell yesterday, and he said, man, every time we were on the field, it felt like there wasn't enough time because the Seahawks offense has dominated time of possession. 31 minutes and 38 minutes in the 2 previous preseason games. In some ways, this is actually some yards and plays they haven't been able to get until now. The wide receiver in motion from right to left. He sets single setback alongside the quarterback, gets the handoff, runs into a host of Seahawks, but pushes his way forward. He'll get a gain of, let's call it 5, as now they are inside the 10-yard line, and it appears that there is a Seahawk who was slow to get up. And I'm checking on the number, but Tyreek Smith, he got up. He is limping, testing out what appears to be his ankle, back to the huddle, but they are going to get him back to the sideline.
Yeah, he has been so active, and he got off a block there, and then it looked like his cleats just got caught in the turf there, either an ankle or a knee problem. So hopefully it's not a big problem for him. He can walk it off because he's been spectacular in the preseason.
Abanaconda checks in as the running back. There is a flag on the field and a timeout was called. It was about to be a delay of game. They avoided that one. It is interesting, Dave, as you look, it has been 6 straight running plays, and now you bring the second string back in for, short yardage goal line. Certainly the Packers are working on this, but it is a chance for the Seahawks to evaluate what that run defense needs to look like.
Yeah, and that's the thing about a preseason game, why I like the joint practices so much. We've talked about this all week, that, you can, script certain situations and go full speed. I mean, that was like game speed, watching that, watching the scrimmage. So, it's good for them to get this kind of work in.
The handoff goes to Abanaconda. That one is sniffed out. Nice play by J.R. Singleton. He comes up and makes the stop. That one's going nowhere and no gain. And it brings up 2nd and 6.
I'll tell you what, J.R. is having one of those kinds of games that you should in the preseason. I mean, that's like 3 tackles that he's made, and he is one of the defensive linemen down there that's not getting pushed around.
Elgersma now in the backfield. He's shifting over Abanaconda to the right side. Wide receivers far left side. The handoff goes to Abanaconda. He weaves his way down to about the 3-yard line. That is where he is going to be stopped. And it is Drake Thomas to make the stop.
Yeah, those inside backers they're very active. And it's funny, you look at Drake Thomas, he's not a big guy, but linebackers are getting smaller in the NFL. Although I think they're going to have to get bigger with all these fullbacks, guys like Robbie Oots out there. But, Drake he's very fast, and, he's not the biggest guy, but he is aggressive. And those two inside backers have really shown well today.
Clock continues to roll. About 9:10 to go here in the first half. Under center is Elgersma. The handoff. Nope, the play fake as he's looking towards the end zone. He's got his man. The catch is made. Touchdown for the Packers as they extend their lead. Will Shepard, the rookie out of Colorado, comes down with it. A 3-yard catch. That will end a drive that started in Seahawks territory.
Yeah, it looks like they ran all the way across the field and, just John Rice Plumlee was not able to hang with the wide receiver. He was just in a bad position from the very beginning, and he just needs to get more leverage over on that side, and he just was chasing the entire time.
On for the extra points, the snap, the hold, the kick is up and good. The Packers extend their lead 17-0 over the Seahawks as we send you off to break on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
Welcome to the Summer of Good at your neighborhood Abby's Legendary Pizza Parlor. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating P&W Summers for over 60 years. Visit abby's.com and celebrate good with our awesome local community. Legendary fun at the Legendary Pizza Place. All summer, some of our most popular pizzas are on sale. They're giant, loaded to the edge with premium, fresh summer toppings and feature classic recipes from 1964. Now, that's good for your stomach and your wallet. No summer shrinkflation, just good taste and good value. Legendary fun at the Legendary Pizza Place. This summer, celebrate good at family-owned Abby's. Order today's giant special at abby's.com.
It's 9 a.m. Your business is open. You're ready to deliver real value backed by a reputation for doing things right. But somehow too many of your ideal customers still haven't discovered you. A few blocks away, there's a business that always has customers. Their name pops up everywhere, on screens and in conversations, even though you know your business delivers more. You've got the quality, they've got the awareness. Hello, I'm David Stevens, owner of Stevens Solutions. We hear this from business owners all the time. You're working hard, but in a crowded market, you just can't seem to attract the number of new customers your business deserves. That's where we step in. We help your business stand out with messaging that gets your ideal customers to take notice. Your advertising starts popping up wherever they are online, regardless of the device they're using. Ready to be the first business your ideal customers think of? Go to StevensSolutions.com to schedule your free consultation and get a complimentary online visibility report. A $250 value, free just for meeting with us. That's Stevens with a PH. StevensSolutions.com.
Pause 10 seconds to give our network stations a chance to identify themselves here on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
96.1, 580 The Game, KTMT 580 AM, and K241CA 96.1 FM Ashland.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. Jen Mueller alongside Dave Wyman. The Packers have just extended their lead. It is Tyus who fields the kickoff. It is going to be a touchback, so 1st and 10 Seattle. That drive for the Packers, 8 plays, covered 47 yards, took 4:46 off the clock. It was the rookie Shepard who capped it with a 3-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, and it is preseason for your color analyst here, because I just said that a wide receiver gave up a touchdown, and it was actually Kedron Callaghan, the cornerback, not John Rice Plumlee. And so, yeah, the Seahawks trying to get some kind of momentum to take into halftime.
Milroe in the backfield. It's Jacardier Wright, the running back now. He gets the handoff. He's got some room. He's at the 50-yard line. He's being chased. He's at the 30, the 20, the 25. He is chased out of bounds at the 4-yard line. That's the kind of momentum shift. That's the kind of play Wright needs to make sure they know he is here and wants to be on this team. A 61-yard run for Jacardier Wright.
Jacardier just hit the gas there. That's what we've been looking for all day. A successful run play there, and that looks like what this team has been to be used to here in the preseason, and now they're going for 2, Jen.
Well, they haven't quite made it to the end zone. We're going to look for a touchdown here on the 4-yard line. I backs Jacardier, the tail of the I. It's Brady Russell who is acting as the fullback. The handoff goes to Wright, and he is going to lose yardage on that play. Sniffed out for a loss of 2 back to the 6-yard line.
Jacardier Wright just, really trying to, the running back position is really interesting to see, who's going to shake out. How many running backs are they going to keep? And Jacardier Wright is one of those big guys that can fly and gets tackled in the backfield there, but man, he was running away from a lot of defenders.
2 wide outs to the near side, 1 far side. Wright stays in the backfield. Now he's going to motion off the line of scrimmage. Empty backfield. Shotgun snap from Milroe. It looks like he's going to run. He's looking for room. He gets tripped up. He does fall forward, and I think he is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, which is going to bring up third down, beg your pardon, and 6.
Boy, he took a pretty big hit there from Kalen King and almost fumbled the ball a little bit. It came loose a little bit, but he just lost the race to the edge, and a really good job by King. He made a fantastic play dipping under the blocker there to tackle Milroe.
Seattle today 0 for 3 on third downs. It is 3rd and goal from the 6. The tight end goes in motion, resets far side, right in the backfield, flanking Jalen to the left. Drop back, Jalen looking for something. Now he's going to pull it down. There's a flag on the play. He crosses the end zone, but I have a feeling this one is coming back as we see the preliminary signal from the official.
Number 78, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, looks like Mason Richmond with the hold there, so unfortunately that's coming back.
It is also the 3rd penalty today for the Seahawks. Green Bay has yet to commit a penalty. That is significant, Dave, because last week the Packers committed 12 penalties. There was one offensive lineman who had 5 all by himself in the first half. Green Bay certainly has worked on that to clean up the issues. Seattle, even though it's been some fairly short yardage penalties, it has come back to bite them. So now the end zone's still in sight, but you're looking at this from the 16-yard line. It's going to be a shotgun snap, 2 wide outs to either side. It looks like Damian Martinez in the backfield. Jalen looking to throw. He's got his man, but he is going to be short of the end zone. Jake Bobo makes the catch at the 4-yard line. So you get a lot of yards back, but now you've got a decision to make here on 4th and goal.
I love seeing Milroe execute that pocket pass there. He's kind of had a little bit of a struggle there and found in between his zone Bobo, and it was just a beautifully thrown ball, and that's what they're looking for. And I think he's going to settle down, I think, in the second half and going into halftime.
They are going to go for it. NVS on one side, Derek Young on the other. Shotgun snap from Milroe. Martinez is the running back. Milroe drops back. He looks towards the end zone, and that one is way short. That pass intended for Brady Russell, and that just wasn't close enough for Russell to make the play. So unfortunately, Seattle gets all the way down inside the red zone. They cannot pay it off with any scores. So the score will remain 17-0 Packers. You are listening to the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up.
Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. This is the Packers Radio Network.
That is the sound of bacon sizzling, of fresh vegetables being chopped for a made-to-order omelet, and the grill being fired up for one of the juiciest burgers around. Hungry yet? Hy-Vee Market Grill is better than ever, with mouth-watering new menu items for breakfast and lunch. Whether you dine in, get it to go, or have it delivered, the best breakfast and lunch is at Hy-Vee Market Grill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
You get everything you want.
On game day, U.S. Cellular wants you to do less scrolling and more cheering. Whether you're in the stadium or listening to the game on the radio, U.S. Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow fans. U.S. Cellular is all about a healthier relationship with technology. That means when the game is on, notifications go off. Take the US Mode pledge and commit to more meaningful game day connections. Let's find us again with US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the green and gold. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
On the football field, the skilled players get paid the most. The same is true in construction. Some of the most skilled players building our roads, solar farms, and stadiums are the men and women of the Wisconsin operating engineers. If you are ready to step up to a job where you can earn more without college debt and operate equipment like cranes, excavators, bulldozers, and drones, you're ready to join our team today at join139.com.
Moving the earth, lifting people up, making everything possible. That's what we do here at Manitou. Global leaders in equipment you use and see every day. Proudly based in Wisconsin and making a difference from farms to construction sites to factories worldwide. Work with a global leader who shares your values. Manitou, the best for the best.
Introducing Circle K, your go-to neighborhood convenience store for all your everyday needs. Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, and Ledgeview. Stop in today. Packers take over, leading 17-0, first and 10 at the 4-yard line of Green Bay. Taylor Elgersma, the quarterback, ducks in under center. Abanikanda is the lone running back, receivers left and right. Long count and back to throw to the end zone. Elgersma rolls right, looking downfield, and throws it away down the right sidelines into the Packers bench. Make that Clifford back in there, quarterback. I thought Elgersma was going to quarterback the rest of the way, but they slipped Clifford in there. Pressure on the quarterback provided by Seth Coleman.
They're always doing stuff like that to see if they're keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, this is what drives you nuts about preseason. It's the substitution patterns. Absolutely nuts. Cornelius Johnson split to the left side. Hardman to the slot left side. Will Shepard wide right. Now Johnson in motion to the right side. Stacking behind Shepard on 2nd and 10. Quick throw to Cornelius Johnson. Made one man miss. Gets out across the 5-yard line. Barely a gain of a yard. Boy, that was well played. Drake Thomas got over to make the hit. They had a blocker out there.
Yeah, Will Shepard was out there. He got a piece of the guy, but the guy got a piece of Johnson.
So it becomes 3rd down and 9 for the Packers. Football to the Green Bay 5. Sean Clifford was relieved by Taylor Elgersma. Now Clifford's back in. In the shotgun with a setback to his left. Clifford in the end zone takes the snap, backpedals. Looking downfield, has time. Throws it short. Underneath, he's got Abanikanda between the hash marks, and he's driven back at the 12-yard line short of the first down. Patrick O'Connell quick to the ball. It's 4th down. Green Bay. The punting unit comes on.
Abanikanda just checking out of the backfield underneath the Seahawks zone coverage. Not enough.
Gain of 7, 4th down for Green Bay. 4th and about 2. Football to the 12-yard line of the Packers. Daniel Whelan on in punt formation, averaging 51 yards on 9 punts this preseason.
Thunder thigh.
Here's the snap. from the end zone. He moves forward. He gets this kick away. Booming kick. Jake Bobo backing up, waits for it, drifts inside the 25 to the 23, cuts left. He's to the 25, 30, nice. Upended near the 35-yard line.
Isaiah Simmons down there to make that play.
Simmons, an excellent special teams gunner, makes the stop. 17-0 Packers, 4:16 to go in this second quarter. With champagne-like bubbles in an iconic glass bottle, Miller High Life, a quality beer within everyone's reach. Crisp, refreshing, unpretentious Miller High Life. Welcome to the High Life. Nothing like a Miller High Life.
You've been saying that a lot this afternoon, Weinster.
66-yard punt by Whelan and Seattle, 1st and 10. Milroe with an I formation backfield. Play action, back to throw. Has time. Lofts it left side. Got MVS inside the Green Bay 40. Outside the numbers on the near left side. He's touched down at the 37-yard line of the Packers. Baldwin beaten on the play. And it's a 27-yard field-flipping pass play for Seattle.
That's a long cover for Baldwin because MVS will end up on the right side running a corner route, kind of a medium-depth corner route. That's a long cover.
Single receiver to the right. They've got a wing set up at the left side. Off that wing, the fullback moves in motion to an offset I. Milroe under center, 1st and 10, Green Bay 37. Jumping into the neutral zone on the play was Aaron Mosby, and I believe it's going to be a false start, Seattle.
Offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Fourth penalty against Seattle. Packers have yet to get a penalty flag thrown their way. So, 1st down to 15 for Seattle. Football at the 42-yard line of Green Bay. 17-0 Packers, 3:23 to go here in the second quarter. Empty shotgun, 5 wide, 3 right, 2 left. Here's the snap. Milroe looking, collapsing pocket, fires the middle. Incomplete. Just a bit wide. Trying to get it to Marshall Lang, the rookie free agent out of Northwestern, over the middle. Coverage on the play by Tyron Hopper.
Had Tyron Hopper underneath. I believe Catano Adapo over the top. That's a tight fit.
Nazir Stackhouse was pressuring up the middle from the defensive line, and it's now 2nd down and 15 for Seattle. 42-yard line of Green Bay. Packers leading 17-0 late going second quarter. Young to the right side, MVS to the left, slots it up to the right side. Milroe in the shotgun, takes the snap, sets, looks, threads a screen left side underneath, and the pass is caught by Anthony Tyus across the 40-yard line, number on the near left side, and down he goes right there at the hand of Isaiah Simmons. So a gain of 2, leaving 3rd down and 13.
Good. See the ball, get the ball, no hesitation by Isaiah Simmons. I think that's a part of his game that needed some work. And apparently he's focused on it because he didn't wait for things to come to him. He attacked.
Seattle 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions, facing 3rd and 13 to the Green Bay 40. Slot to the right side, Young and MVS, 2 tight ends left side of the line. In the shotgun with a setback to his left, Jalen Milroe waits for the snap. And we get a timeout called here.
Timeout. Green Bay, their 3rd. It's a 30-second timeout.
Okay. 2:27 to go in this first half of play. Carbless, handcrafted premium cocktails. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 100 calories, full flavor. A proud product of Wisconsin, a partner of the Green Bay Packers. Hey, Packers fans, you know, Verizon is the official 5G network of the Packers. Visit a Wisconsin Verizon store today. Wayne Larrabee, Larry McCarron. Sun splashed at the moment is Lambeau Field. Packers leading 17-0. 2:27 to go, second quarter. Seattle at the 40-yard line of the Packers. Ball to the left hash mark. Facing a 3rd down and 13. Milroe in the shotgun with a setback to his right. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Jalen Milroe takes the snap on the handoff up the middle. Martinez has running room. Across the 35, upended across the 30. Along the left hash marks to the 29-yard line. Catano Adapo made the hit. Sizable 11-yard gain, but they're 2 yards short of the first down. Seattle going for it. Final 20 seconds. Make that final seconds before the 2-minute warning. Bobo in motion to the right. No huddle offense. In the shotgun, Milroe. Long count. And we've come to the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning.
So Seattle will go for it, apparently, on 4th down and 2. 17-0 Green Bay at the end, at the 2-minute warning, second quarter. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. This is the Packers Radio Network.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Wayne Lura, the voice of the Green Bay Packers. If you've been involved in an accident, choose the team with the winning record for more than 50 years. The team that has collected over $1 billion for their clients. The team I would call. Hupy and Abraham. Pick the winning team. The team with the win or it's free guarantee. Call 1-800-800-5678. 1-800-800-5678. Or on the web at Hupy.com. Hupy and Abraham. Available 24/7, 365. Visit Hupy.com today.
Hey Packers fans, are you a U.S. Cellular customer uncertain about the switch to T-Mobile? It's never been easier to switch to Verizon and get the certainty you deserve. Plans start at just $30 per line per month for 4 lines on unlimited welcome with autopay, plus taxes and fees. That price is guaranteed for 3 years on America's most reliable 5G network. Visit a Wisconsin Verizon store today. 3-year price guarantee only applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms apply. In times of condition, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slow within other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Ranking spacing. Route metrics. Route score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary.
At Prevea, we do things differently because we're led by doctors who specialize in you. How do we do it? Let's hear from the doctors, just like me, who practice at Prevea.
At Prevea Health, we're led by doctors
who really care about you. That's why our patients
are always treated with patience.
And the first treatment we prescribe
is kindness.
Prevea Health, doctor-led, specializing in you.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. If it could talk, it'd tell stories. And if you've had one, you've probably got a story worth telling. Here's to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
With NFL Plus, keep the NFL in reach. Stream live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime games on mobile during the regular and postseason, and NFL Network, including 7 exclusive live games. With NFL Plus Premium, watch every touchdown every Sunday afternoon during the regular season on NFL Red Zone. And for a limited time, save 20% on an annual NFL Plus Premium subscription. Offer ends September 15th. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply.
The 2-minute warning presented by Wisconsin Laborers District Council, representing over 9,000 union laborers throughout Wisconsin. Learn more at LiunaWisconsin.org and feel the power. Wayne Larrabee, Larry McCarron, bright sunshine at Lambeau Field. Seahawks on the drive, facing 4th and 2 at the Green Bay 29-yard line. Packers 17-0 as we wind down the first half. In the shotgun, Milroe, 6 of 9 for 59 yards passing. Motion by the tight end to the wing of the left side. Slot right. Single safety high, Green Bay, low snap. Milroe fields under pressure, immediately rolls right. Looking to cut it back. He's hit it. Tack him down. Outside the 30-yard line, number on the far right side. He lost 2 yards on the play. Back to the 31. Tyron Hopper arrived on the scene. Early pressure that time.
Warren Brinson.
Yep. Warren Brinson got the early pressure, flushed the quarterback, and Hopper cleaned it up. So the Packers deny the Seahawks once again. Minute 53 to go. I guess Matt LaFleur is going to alternate quarterbacks here, right? It looks like El Gersma back in there, and it is. From the 32, 1st and 10, Packers territory, working from left to right. Johnson moves to the left side of the quarterback. 3 receivers right. Everybody else is tight. They're blitzing a linebacker. Quick toss right side. Threw over the head of Hardman in the flat right side. So 2nd and 10, Green Bay.
2nd and 10, ball from 32.
Sean Clifford, 4 of 5 passing for 13 yards. And he's got a setback. Johnson to his right. Receivers left and right. Tight end standing up right side of the line. And here's the snap. Elgersma, clean pocket. Rainbow's left side going for Shepard. Nearly picked away in the deep secondary down the left sidelines. Across the Seattle 35. Keedrain Callaghan had a beat on it. Pass intended for Will Shepard. And it's 3rd down and 10.
Pretty much covered up the sideline by the corner. Safety coming over the top. Kind of a dangerous ball.
It was, yeah. The safety over the top almost picked it away. DeAnthony Bell. So 3rd and 10 now. Elgersma with Johnson to his left. Slot to the right side. Single receiver to the left. Johnson split wide to the right. Snap to Elgersma. He waits, he throws, right side. Hardman's got it, but stacked up immediately by the linebacker O'Connell at the 35-yard line, just short of the 35. Demarion Williams was there.
Just a quick hitch by Hardman, but he was sitting out there a while. And by the time the ball came to him, reinforcements and the posse had arrived. So usually those are more effective when they're bang, bang.
Yes. Yeah, the ball's got to come out on time. Chevrolet, proud to be the best-selling brand of Wisconsin, official vehicle of the Green Bay Packers. Trust Chevy on your team. Visit your local Chevy dealer today. So the Packers facing 4th down. 4th and 7, minute 39 to go in this first half. 17-0 Green Bay. On and punt formation for the Packers, Daniel Whelan. Single safety back deep for Seattle. Snap to Whelan, moves forward, lifts this kick. Carrying toward the near side, hash marks, and making the running grab on this short kick and getting hammered immediately across the 25-yard line. There was a collision there with Corey Ballantyne on the return man, and there is a pileup of players right now. Trainers from both sides heading out immediately.
I don't think anybody was expecting either side that short of a punt.
Jake Bobo was coming up under it. Made the catch. Ballantyne arrived simultaneously, and that was a wicked collision. My goodness.
Rolling on the field is it is Green Bay's ball.
Apparently a fumble or a muff. I'm not quite sure. I'm getting a look at a replay now. Several Seahawks across the way, down on one knee. Heck of a collision. And hopefully the injured player will be all right, but this is one of those scary moments in football when you have high-speed collisions like that in the open field. Exactly rocked the punt, much shorter than anyone expected. And Jake Bobo running up under it, and of course one of the better gunners in the league is Corey Ballantyne, and they collided. As the ball reached the return man, we heard the official, Brad Rogers, say that it's Green Bay football, so there must have been a muff or fumble, and the Packers recovered. But more important is the concern over the injured player. Looks like we'll have an injury timeout with a minute 27 to go in this second quarter. 17-0 Packers over the Seahawks. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. This is the Packers Radio Network.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese. All paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Packers fans, your next quick trip run could score you the ultimate win. Cruising into tailgate season in a brand new Chevy Silverado RST, or blazing the trails on a new Polaris Sportsman 570, or grilling like an MVP with your new Pit Boss Ultimate Liftoff Griddle. Whoa, every dollar you spend at Quick Trip with Quick Rewards earns you a point in the Packers fan zone. So come in and get winning. No purchase necessary. Full details at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long.
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota.
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
You've taught them, trained them, taken every precaution. But sometimes, despite your best efforts, someone gets hurt on the job. Because they're not perfect. They're people. And they're your people. At least you can keep them happy, healthy, and working with a workers' compensation policy from West Bend. It's how to give every problem a silver lining. West Bend, the worst brings out our best. To find out more, visit thesilverlining.com.
On the punt return, Jake Bobo muffed the football. It was recovered by Corey Ballantyne, who apparently made the hit on Bobo, but the injured player was Tyler Hall, and he needed help in getting off the field. Green Bay recovered the muff, and so the Packers have it at the 24-yard line of Seattle, leading 17-0 with 90 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Something that happens, Wayne, the athletic training staffs and medical staffs throughout the league are a real brotherhood. The entire Packer medical staff and training staff were out there ready to lend a helping hand should it be needed.
Clifford at quarterback, 1st and 10, single back offense. Here's the handoff off the right side and trying to pile drive and picking up short yardage down to the 21-yard line. Not much there. Johnson the carry. Jamie Sheriff made the hit. Lamar Johnson, the lone setback in the shotgun to the right side of the quarterback, Sean Clifford. Here's the snap. Clifford looks, pump fakes, now steps up and scrambles left. Running room 20. Penalty marker down behind the play. Clifford escapes out of bounds inside the 15 at the 11-yard line of Seattle. Holding the call against Green Bay.
Holding. Offense, number 68.
What happens on that kind of a thing, Wayne, is as the ball carrier goes by, you're fighting the battle, and all of a sudden your relationship to the quarterback changes, and so what was legal a moment ago becomes illegal. Right. That's what happened to Lecitus.
Just one of those things, and hard to blame the player, isn't it, on a situation like that, Ross?
I think that was pretty ticky-tacky in the best of circumstances, but that's what happens. That's how a play like that or a call like that occurs.
Slot left, single receiver to the right side. Clifford in the shotgun. Bright sunshine at Lambeau Field. He's got Johnson to his right. Snapped at Clifford. Clifford looking. Lofts it over the middle, and it's incomplete. It's headed for Hardman. Just inside the left hash marks, and the coverage provided by Jarek Reed at the 5-yard line of Seattle. So it's third down, Green Bay. Third and about 18.
Anthony Belton gives up a hit on the quarterback. Got beat on the spin move. Anthony, well, he can obliterate people in the running game. In pass protection, sometimes he get caught leaning, and that's a lot of weight leaning forward, and that's what happened that time. Got beat with the spin.
So Sean Clifford, 4 of 6, 13 yards. Facing third down and 18 back at the 32-yard line of Seattle. Penalty markers down at the snap of the ball.
Ball starts. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Anthony Belton getting the flag. Of course, he had 5 flags in the first half last week and cleaned it up in the second, but trying to anticipate the count. And like I said, the Packers will have a lot of patience with Anthony because he's got a tool that you can't find everywhere. And that's the ability, as I mentioned, to obliterate people in the run game.
Single receiver right, slot to the left. And here's the handoff up the middle to Johnson. Amar Johnson along the right hash marks is driven down inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Drake Thomas made the hit, gain of 4. Seattle takes their second timeout. 53 seconds to go in this first half. So, give us an opportunity to remind you that today's game is brought to you by Construction Business Group, operating engineers and contractors, teaming up to build Wisconsin together. Learn more at join139.com. Wayne Larrabee, Larry McCarron, what is it, 2 weeks from Sunday? The regular season opens here with a late afternoon start. Packers and Lions to get it rolling. Now this will be a 52-yard field goal attempt. Brandon McManus out of the hold of Daniel Whelan. Down on one knee, arm extended. Matt Orzik snap. Placement made. Kick is end over end. It is to the uprights, and it is good. 20-0. Brandon McManus nails it from 52 yards. Steinhoffels donates $1,000 to Special Spaces of Wisconsin for that field goal.
What a bonus, as opposed to not too distant past, where you're kind of worried about the kicker.
Yeah. It's like going into last year, you mean?
Yeah.
Was that recently?
The not too distant past.
Marion Williams back deep on the far side, the far right side. Anthony Tyus on the near left side, set to receive this kickoff. And kicking it away is Mark McNamee. Booting from left to right. 20-0 Green Bay. Here's the run-up swing of the right leg and a booming end-over-end kick deep into the end zone. Tyus will down it. And the Seahawks will get it out at their 35-yard line. Packers' drive was 4 plays, 10 yards off the muff by Jake Bobo, recovered by Corey Ballantyne. Warren Brinson up front on that defensive line, Desmond Alexander, and also up front, Aaron Mosby for the Packers. And the Seahawks to the line of scrimmage, Jalen Milroe. This first half, 6 of 9 passing, 59 yards. He's got a slot to the left side, single receiver to the right, out of the shotgun with a setback to his right. Here's the snap. Milroe looking downfield, lofts it deep down the middle, and it's just barely overshot. The intended receiver on the play, Cody White, who had a step and a half on Kamal Haddon. Down the left hash marks.
That was there. Just a miss by Milroe.
That would have been a one-play, 65-yard touchdown drive. But the pass just beyond the reach of the receiver. So it's 2nd and 10 for Seattle.
And Haddon is thanking the football gods.
Oh, yes. Slot left, single receiver right. Again out of the shotgun, snap to Milroe on 2nd down. In a tight pocket, steps up, threads it over the right side, and he hits Martinez. Slips one man, but not the other. Brought down inside the numbers, outside the hash marks. At the 41-yard line of Seattle, tackle made by Micah Robinson. Seattle goes no huddle. 27 seconds left to go in the half. Here's the snap to Milroe in the shotgun. Milroe being pressured right away up the middle. Milroe eludes the defender, rolling right. Chased by Mosby, looking downfield, fires wide of the mark, right side into the bench. Good pressure on the quarterback.
Pressure by James Esther, Wayne. Nice individual pass rush move. Freed himself up. Certainly affected the quarterback.
14 seconds to go. It is 4th down. Esther in his 2nd year out of Northern Illinois. His 2nd Packers training camp. They like him.
He's a Husky, huh?
Yeah. They kind of like him. I mean, why would they bring him back this year if they didn't like him? So
good deductive reasoning.
I guess, I can deduct.
That's why you get paid the big money.
I can deduct. Here's the kick on the punt. Sailing toward the near side. Numbers on the right, making the catch. Hardman dances at the 10, cutting right to the 15, escapes out of bounds near the 17-yard line. 3 seconds to go in the half. That should about do it. Connor O'Toole forced him out of bounds. About a 5 or 6 yard gain. Has this first half taken a while or what, Rock?
Well, the last 5 minutes has, but before that, I thought it was steaming along pretty good.
So the Packers get into the 18-yard line of their own territory, leading 20-0, 3 seconds to go in the half. And it looks like they're just going to down it and get out of here. A lot of good things for the Packers. And Clifford takes the snap, drops to a knee. That'll end the first half. A lot of good things for the Packers in this first half. 163 yards of offense. They forced 3 turnovers, gave up 1, and head off at halftime, leading 20-0. The halftime report presented by Ascension, Wisconsin is next. Packers Radio, presented by American Family Insurance. This is the Packers Radio Network.
Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, a non-carbonated refresher with alcohol for weekend flavor any day of the week. Like when you get a case of the Mondays, swap it for the bright fruit flavors of Happy Thursday. Or when Tuesday needs a tune-up, look forward to Happy Thursday. And by Wednesday, you're already halfway there. So drink in the weekend flavor of Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, weekend flavor any day of the week. Celebrate responsibly, non-carbonated, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. 21 and up, contains alcohol. 2024 Molson Coors Beverage Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
This Packer season is guaranteed to be jam-packed with big hits, the timely blitz, and the tight window fits. Touchdown! So you need a pizza that'll be there for all the big moments. You need a Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. As the official pizza of the Green Bay Packers, Brewpub pizzas are built to win and made with the hungry in mind. Produced right here in Wisconsin, Brewpub pizzas are a taste of home and loaded with award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. So sack one today from your local retailer and make game day memorable.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Packers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Packers Pride, powered locally.
Presented by Ascension, Wisconsin. When it comes to healthcare, we all need a winning strategy. The best way to get there is through Ascension Wisconsin Care Teams. Schedule now at ascension.org/Wisconsin Care. I'm Hunter Baumgart in for Chandra Lynn, and the Packers lead 20-0 over the Seahawks at halftime in this preseason finale. Let's get to the highlights. The Packers got the ball first, but unfortunately, the opening drive ended quickly on an interception thrown by Malik Willis. The good news, after just 4 plays, it was third down for Seattle, and the defense made a big play early.
On third down, here's the snap, blitz on. Milroe under pressure. He's hit and sacked by Quay Walker. Back inside the 50 near the 45-yard line of Seattle.
The Seahawks were forced to punt, and the Packers got the ball back and began the drive at their own 4-yard line. And, folks, this drive was mighty impressive. It began in earnest with a big play to the Packers' first-round pick, Mr. Golden.
No huddle and back to throw. Comes Willis, lofts it right sidelines, taking a shot, adjusting to it, and making the catch. Golden! Oh, my goodness, what a spinning grab. 50-yard line, far sidelines. They beat Nehemiah Pritchett on the play. Outstanding throw and a great catch, 39 yards.
The drive continued with a toss to Malik Heath and a couple of productive scrambles by Willis to set the Pack up in the red zone. After pass interference was called, they were ready to score at the 1-yard line.
Here's the snap, quick throw. Dobbs on the slant, touchdown! Romeo Dobbs in the north end zone of Lambeau Field. For the first score of the game, they beat Shaquille Griffin on a nifty slant, and the Packers on the board leading 6-0.
That was a 14-play, 96-yard drive, and it results in a 7-0 lead for the Packers with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter. That would be it for Malik Willis and most of the starters. Late in the first quarter, the Packers added a 48-yard field goal by Brandon McManus to make it 10-0 Green Bay. The second quarter began with another turnover forced by the Packers as Milroe lost the ball on a 4th down sneak, and Green Bay took over at the Seattle 30-yard line. And after Sean Clifford played the previous drive at quarterback, Taylor Elgersma got this drive at the helm and was set up for another Lambeau leap.
Elgersma, play action back to throw. Lofts end zone right side.
Beautiful,
touchdown. Beautiful throw. And a touchdown. Will Shepard with it. Lambeau leap to the south end zone stands.
17-0 Packers, and after a 61-yard run by Jacardier Wright, Seattle was stopped on 4th and goal, and the shutout was held. Now, towards the end of the half, the Packers punted, but the Seahawks muffed the punt and set the Packers up for another score. It was a 52-yard field goal by McManus. 20-0 Packers, and that is our halftime score. We'll take a quick glance at other preseason games happening around the league next. Packers Radio is presented by American Family Insurance. You're listening to Packers Football.
Called another player the wrong name, but yeah, I mean, you're right. You hate this when you get injuries in a situation like this. You're so close to the regular season, and then this kind of thing happens, and it was just kind of sloppy. There was lots of penalties, and but really, I mean, it feels worse than it really is, because you look at, they put up 162 yards, the Seahawks put up 132 yards. So it's not like score-wise, obviously it's 20-0, but yeah, I think it was interesting that, they had their starters out there for quite a while, and and that's just not the way that the Seahawks were going to play it.
Yeah, Wright had a run of 61 yards, the longest play of the first half. So he has kind of helped set the tone for the Seahawks. The one thing, you can control certain things out there that are going on. One of which is, you can't turn the ball over. Seahawks have been unlucky in that way. Jalen Milroe's got to understand he's got to secure the ball when he scrambles. But we continue to see those flashes of him being able to take that ball, turn upfield, make something out of nothing. And now he's just got to remember to finish those plays hanging on to the ball. Meantime, the Seahawks are going to get the ball here to start this second half with the Packers on top 20-0. And again, Jen doing a terrific job handling the play-by-play duties. And Dave, you were, your own average self there in the second quarter.
Oh, I was below average. There's no question about that.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I had Jen to straighten me out, just like you do. So,
the good thing is we all love each other. We can always have fun with each other. So here's getting set to kick this ball away for the Packers. And deep for the Seahawks. Demarius Williams, along with Tyus. Here's the kick coming down 2 yards deep. That's Tyus. He's going to bring it out across the 10, the 15-20. Breaks a tackle at the 25 and falls forward to the 27-yard line, where it took about 3 Packers to bring him down. There was some... I was not here. I will say I flew in last night to broadcast the game today. But, Dave, you were here through the course of the week. And there was more than just a little jawing going on out at the practice. There was actually a little bit of fisticuffs. And some of that has carried over into today's game. So no love lost between these two clubs the last few days.
Yeah, no kidding. And it was kind of interesting to see what's the personality of this team. How are they going to react? And I like the way that the starters reacted in that joint scrimmage.
Jalen Milroe's going to come out throwing on first down, looks downfield, then swings a pass out near side, breaking a tackle, turning upfield and knocked out of bounds near sideline is Martinez. Damian Martinez, the rookie out of Miami, picks up 9 on the first play from scrimmage here, or the first offensive play from scrimmage for the Seattle Seahawks. Milroe was 7 of 12 for 65 yards in that first half. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He did cough the ball up a couple of times, and he will work on that. Tight slot, far side on this 2nd down and 2. Handoff near side Martinez, and boy, he runs into a wall of white jerseys and yellow helmets. We're going to lose a yard on the play as the Seahawks were trying to run that downhill outside play to the left side. And the Packers are a really good defense. I don't care if they're first-team guys. And by the way, they played their first-teamers on offense and defense well into that first quarter, and the Seahawks basically put no starters on the field. Right. So, nobody's making any excuses here. I'm just saying there was definitely a difference in what happened there in that first half. So here we go, 3rd down, 3rd and 3, handoff, play fake as Milroe's going to keep it, runs to the near sideline, going to step out of bounds and just get the first down at the 40, and along the way there for a 4-yard gain, protecting himself by getting out of bounds.
Well, and I think he fooled you and everybody else in this building.
Yeah.
And me as well. I mean, that's where he really has a lot of magic. The sort of, sleight of hand in that, in those kinds of plays when you kind of, it looks like it's going to be a run, and then He pulls it and runs, and, man, he does it better than anybody.
Martinez with the handoff. This time he goes right side, spins out of a tackle. But the Packers get a lot of players to the point of attack. They're very well disciplined, Dave, from their first teamers right through to their third team guys on that discipline of stretching that play and making sure that the Seahawks don't get outside of them.
Yeah, Milroe in the prior.
Now he's going to scramble out of the pocket again, coming to the left side by the numbers, pump fakes. Now he's going to run out of bounds after a little push. Going to lose some yardage on that, going to bring up fourth down. So some plays that just did not work out for Milroe and company after that loss of 4. He's going to bring on Michael Dixon and the punt team.
When you look at the one thing I can say positive out of that drive is Jalen leaves his eyes downfield. I mean, he kind of feels the rush and, linebackers that are closing in on him, and he's always keeping his eyes downfield, and that's something that's difficult to do, and he just has a really good feel for scrambling, even though it's not really working out for him statistically.
Will Shepard, the deep man for the Packers. This is a huge high kick by Dixon, and the fair catch called for and made at the 15-yard line, and a bomb by Michael Dixon, as he is wont to do. Timeout on the field with 11:49 to play here in the third. Seattle trailing the Packers 20-0 on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. Will you volunteer to help people like Richard, a U.S. naval veteran who suffered severe PTSD after his service? He was left homeless for a period of time, and his oral and overall health are suffering. Because of congressional limitations, the VA can't provide the dental help he needs. Through our Will You See One Vet program, we focus on helping U.S. military veterans like Richard. Now we are seeking more general dentists and specialists to donate treatment to at least one veteran with special needs. When you volunteer with DLN's program to see one vet, we handle the details so you can focus on the care. If you are a dentist or know a dentist, please share this message and help us make a difference in the life of a veteran in need. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
And let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
96.1, 580 The Game, KTMT 580 AM, and K241CA 96.1 FM Ashland.
Home of the Seahawks.
The rookie Taylor Elgersma is at quarterback for these Packers. Tight wings on both sides, single setback behind the quarterback who's under center. The handoff goes left side, almost breaking a tackle, but not quite. Benaconda, the running back, third-year player out of Pitt. Ship makes the tackle after a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, you see Sheriff making a nice play there. Okada came flying up from his strong safety spot there. And, yeah, nice little limited run there.
It looks like Patrick O'Connell is going to take a break now. They know what he can do, and he made about 1,000 tackles in that first half. So he's going to get a chance to take a break here on 2nd down and 7. Elgersma under center again, single setback, handoff straight ahead once again. And that's Anaconda again. A gain of 4 this time, going to bring up 3rd down. While I was standing in the back of the press box here, while Jen and Dave were carrying on in the second quarter, Jared Ivey came back into the game, and I was amazed because I thought for all the world he looked like it was a pretty serious injury in that first quarter. He's been back and playing, and more power to him. But then again, what do you expect? He played at Georgia Tech for a few years, David. Tough guys come out of Georgia Tech, buddy.
Well, you're saying he's not very smart.
3 of 9 on third downs are the Packers. Elgersman looks. Now he's going to throw it near side flat. Ball is caught, breaking one tackle, and getting a first down after a second effort is Julian Hicks, first-year wide receiver out of Albany. He picks up 5 and a first down for the Pack.
Well, get back to Ivy. In all seriousness, he is a tough kid, and he's one of those guys that's kind of a dog. You know, when you ask around, like, who's somebody that's kind of got a little bit of an edge to him and, you know, brings some nastiness to the game, and it's Ivy.
Yeah, we're just really happy that he's okay. There were a couple of guys still banged up, and we'll get further evaluation from them as the game winds on. 1st and 10 from his own 27. Handoff once again to Abanaconda, and he's going to push that pile across the 30 of Green Bay before he's pushed back, so he picks up 4. Bubba Thomas, one of the big guys up front and in the middle for the Seahawks, and there are some very large human beings the Seahawks have in there. You've talked about it. Quentin Bohannon, Brandon Peely, Bubba Thomas, Anthony Campbell, all these young guys getting a chance to play today.
That's one of the all-time great football names right there, Bubba Thomas.
Yeah.
That's a defensive tackle.
2nd down and 6 at the 31 of Green Bay. Long count. Play fake this time by Elgersman. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, and now he's going to get hit and go down. Short of the 30. Seattle comes up with the sack, and it's Ivy. So good for that young man. He keeps fighting his way through. A loss of 2 to sack the quarterback and bring up a 3rd down now and 8.
Well, that was just excellent coverage downfield. I mean, there was nowhere to go, and he basically just gave up because, it's better to take a sack than throw a pick, and that was the situation he was in.
You got Okada and Reed and Williams in that secondary. 3rd down pass coming. Throw back to the middle of the field. The hit after the catch, and coming up short of the 35 is the wide receiver, and he's going to be short of the first down as well. It's Abanaconda who was on the catch, and Okada makes the tackle and holds it to a 5-yard gain, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and on comes the punt unit. Daniel Whelan.
I think there was about 6 blue jerseys around the ball there, and Mike McDonald loves that.
I got a feeling that Mike had a little chat. We know he can be a little old school sometimes, and he probably chatted with the guys about the effort and not to beat yourself. Don't make the mistakes. Here's a beautiful punt by Whelan, and Williams fumbles it at the 5, picks it up, makes one man miss, and then he is slung to the ground inside the 10, and that's where the Seahawks will start 1st and 10 when we come back. 7:37 to play here in this 3rd quarter with the Packers up 20-zip on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself. I didn't, now I do. The impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet
Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Seahawks start this drive from inside their own 10-yard line. Let's check in with Jen, who's been checking with offensive linemen for the Hawks. Jen.
Well, Grace Abel and Charles Cross not playing today, but they are spending a lot of time talking to each other on the sideline. When we talked to John Schneider about this yesterday, he said, yeah, you know, the rookie has done a really good job of bringing out some of the personality from Charles Cross. Cross tends to be pretty much to himself, but we have seen more as those two plan to be around for a while.
They make a great left side of the line. Here's Jalen Milroe wants to throw, and he's going to let it fly down the near sideline, and it sails out of bounds, kind of flying over the head of his intended receiver. That's Kellerup, the tight end, Nick Kellerup, and he'll head to the sidelines. Will Kellerup, pretty good coverage by the Packers that time, but the ball just sort of overthrown by Jalen. Now he's going to be looking at a 2nd and 10 from his own 8.
Hopefully that's an indication of how the offensive line protection is going to be in the second half for Jalen, because he actually did have some time to deliver that pass, unlike the first half.
Jacardier Wright, the single setback, and he gets the handoff coming left side, tries to cut back against the grain, but as there has seemed to be much of the day today, a Packer back there on the backside ready to make the play and holds it to just a 2-yard gain. And 3rd down now to come and about almost 9. Seahawks huddled up back inside their own 5. Hawks are 1 of 8 on 3rd downs today. Into the game is Martinez at tailback. Tight trip set right. Milroe takes the snap. 4-man rush by the Packers. Throw near sideline is incomplete. Intended over here on the near side for Broden. Tyrone Broden, the rookie free agent out of Arkansas. And it brings up 4th down. And so a quick series by the Seahawks, and back again comes Michael Dixon.
You know, I can see what they're doing with Milroe, that, you know, you're not going to run the kind of plays that he's going to be involved in this season. I think are going to be quite different than what you're seeing here. And so they're just giving them an opportunity to get some reps of just drop back pass. So there's not been a lot of movement and, play action.
Shepard calls for the fair catch and makes it at his own 44-yard line. And we'll take another break right there. 6:42 to play in the 3rd with the Packers on top 20-zip. This is the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
If you came across a child struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you recognize a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school?
Not because he's a boy, but because he's hungry.
Or a 2-year-old girl who cries all night? Not because she's sick,
but because she went to bed without enough to eat.
Or maybe a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites him to a sleepover?
Not for fun, just so we can have dinner.
Or a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks over lunch,
so her friends won't know she doesn't have anything to eat?
I am the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day, but never knew were hungry. I am child hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Hi, Mom. Is Claire's birthday party today? Me again, Mom. Where did I put my history book? Hi, sorry, forgot one last thing. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate. At school, I start looking out the window, and then I forget what I was supposed to be thinking about. I know it seems like I don't care, but I do. It's just difficult for me. Love you, Mom. Bye.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive. Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Seahawks football is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. Get ready for a night of laughter. Gen X, the Takeover Comedy Tour, comes to Emerald Queen Casino on October 9th. Only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Please game responsibly. Green Bay, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Clifford, the quarterback now. He and Eldersma have shared the duties since the second quarter. Wideouts to both sides, single setback. Straight ahead carry by the Packers. Now bouncing it outside to the far side is Amar Johnson. He's down the sidelines, knocked out of bounds in front of the Seahawks bench. But it's going to come back. 2 flags are down back near the 40-yard line. And one of the Packers is going to get called for a hold.
Offense, number 43. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Jamie Sheriff was in great position there on the edge and doing a really good job of holding it, and he tried to disengage and was held. So, I mean, look, that's an effective play right there. I mean, he's coming up and, forcing a penalty, basically.
Yeah, wipes out a 21-yard run by the Packers. The penalty, by the way, was on Johnny Lumpkin, one of the young tight ends here in Green Bay, trying to make this team. 2 teams, by the way, that love to use their tight ends in a lot of different ways. Blocking, catching, in the backfield. You'll see all of it out of these 2 teams this season. Slot to the near side on 1st down and 20. Back inside the 35-yard line. Clifford gets hit. Clifford gets ramped up and goes down. Flags are down, and I think it's going to be another hold as the Seahawks absolutely exploded through the line of scrimmage, and a couple of Packers only had an opportunity to try to hold.
Holding. Offense, number 46. That penalty declined. Results of the play, 2nd down.
That's Amar Johnson, the rookie running back, was forced to try to hold and could not, and still a loss of 10 on that play.
Yeah, once again, forcing a hold, and then, Jared Ivey, who we thought was maybe going to be done for the day, he comes off the edge, so he had 2 successful pass rushes there.
And it brings up 2nd down now and 30. Trip set to the right, quick throw out into the right flat. Ball is caught, trying to turn upfield, but can't, is the wide receiver Julian Hicks. Jackson on the tackle for the Seahawks, but he'll get the credit for the tackle. But there were probably 5 guys, Dave, in blue jerseys who got out there to help turn that play back.
Just a great reaction, and nobody kind of rounded off there. Everybody just jammed their foot in the turf and just sprinted to the sidelines. That's great team defense.
You jammed your foot on the treadmill the other day, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Injured, but he's here, folks. You can't keep him away. 3rd down and 28. Clifford steps up in the pocket. Got a long way to throw. It has a lot of green grass in front of him. Dumps it off in the flat and overthrows his intended receiver. That would have been Messiah Swinson, another backup tight end. Tried to dump it off to him and just flat missed him in the flat. That's going to bring up 4th and a mile, and the Packers will happily punt this ball away.
That was a great play by De'Eric Jackson there. That really was, as far as trying to force the quarterback outside and then maybe get your hands up at the end. And, the quarterback got kind of jammed up the way that he timed that. And just a really effective play there. That's always hard to make. You don't know if he's going to throw it or pull it down and run.
The veteran, Demarion Williams, is the deep man, and he's going to back up. Catch this at about the 14, turns upfield, right side, stops, cuts back, looks for running room, and is dropped at the 24-yard line. So a lot of running and a decent return, and the Seahawks have it at their own 24 when we come back. 4:57 to play in the third, and the Packers lead by 20.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Listen up, Seahawks fans. Shop and Score Sweepstakes is back at Safeway. Shop, score, and enter for a chance to win a 2025 Toyota Tacoma, VIP game experiences, groceries for a year, and more. Just buy 5 participating items in a single transaction to enter for a chance to win. Safeway has all your game day tailgate favorites, from fried chicken to fresh-cut fruit and vegetable trays, and tons of easy meal options. Save time and shop online at Safeway.com. Safeway, the official supermarket of the Seahawks.
David, honey, this is your Seahawks intervention.
I don't have a problem.
David, you painted the entire house action green.
So?
You wanted to name our daughter the 12s. Listen, download the Fuel Forward app. Every 8+ gallon fill up at 76 and Conoco stations gives you a chance to win a VIP game day experience.
I can fuel my car and my Seahawks obsession.
In moderation, David. In moderation. Terms and conditions apply. See official rules at 76.com/Seahawks-rules.
Say fans, elevate your party game this season. Host your next get-together in a Lumen Field suite on game day. Enjoy Seahawks football from a prime location, along with exclusive club access and premium food and beverage offerings. Visit suites.seahawks.com to book your suite today. Well, Whelan for the Packers, his third 60-plus yard punt. That last one, 62. An 11-yard return by Williams has the Hawks looking at a 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line here in the third quarter, just under 5 minutes to play. Milroe's going to hand the ball off, finding a little running room, spinning out of a tackle, and being dropped close to the 30-yard line is Anthony Tyus III, a 6-yard gain.
You know what I love about that run and that formation? You got 2 tight ends on either side, so it kind of stretches the defense out, and then you run that wide zone towards the sidelines, and it just creates huge gaps to run through, and that's one of the better runs that we've seen today.
2nd down and 6. Tyus stays in the backfield with Milroe at quarterback. Milroe with the play fake, keeps it, turns upfield, close to the 35. Going to be, by the time they spot it, going to be less than a yard. 3rd down, less than a yard. Dave, we talked about it during the break. One of the things that probably the Seahawks want to see is not so much of the running, just because they want to try to keep Jalen Milroe upright for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, hopefully he's able to avoid the heavy hits out there. But, yeah, just seeing him work on some of the things that he's not necessarily is, the best part of his game, I think is really important.
With the quarterback sneak here, he's going to get the 1st down and then some, and he had both arms and at least one of his legs wrapped around the football. He fumbled earlier in the game, had the ball stripped away from him on a quarterback sneak. Not that time. Picks up 5 and a Seahawks 1st down.
I think it's interesting, that Robbie Oots, did he play a little bit in the beginning? I don't think I
haven't seen him. At least I don't remember him being on the field.
I think he was one of those guys that dressed but wasn't necessarily going to play. But, he's been a huge part of that running game and their success. And haven't really shown the fullback here today.
Tyus, the single setback, Milroe under center. Tight ends to both sides. The toss to Tyus. He comes down to the left side, cuts back up inside, and falls across the 40-yard line. A gain of maybe a yard, perhaps a few more. Alexander on the tackle for Green Bay.
I talked to George Holani yesterday about, running behind a fullback and how different that is. And, he said he hadn't really run behind a fullback in his football playing days. And, the fullback has all but disappeared. But he said he really liked it because he said there's one extra guy there to kind of clean up all the tacklers.
And I know these guys are practicing running off of those blocks. Here's a play fake by Milroe. Dumps it off from the near side. Flat, a one-handed catch by his tight end. Kind of a release valve out in the near side flat. Ball was caught by Marshall Lang and then gets knocked out of bounds right in front of the Packers bench. A short gain. In fact, we'll call it no gain as all was said and done. So now 3rd down and 9 from the Seattle 40. Inside of 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter.
That was a spectacular catch that didn't amount to much.
That's right.
That's too bad. I wanted him to get 15 or 20 out of a one-handed catch.
Slot to the right side. Milroe takes the shotgun snap, throws back in on the left on a crossing route, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended down on the near side, but incomplete, intended for Ricky White III out of UNLV.
I'm curious about him. He blocked 3 or 4 punts last year, his senior year at UNLV, and just a really good special team guy and pretty good receiver. But he's one of those guys I think can really help your team.
He was on the flight last night to Minneapolis from Seattle with Kenny Mayne, a good friend, longtime friend, former ESPN. And he was talking about Ricky White, as Kenny also went to UNLV. He really likes that young man. Here's the punt by Dixon. It's going to be Shepard fielding it at the 12. Outside the right side numbers, and he's pulled down by O'Toole, who has done a nice job on the defense as well as special teams. Keeps it to a short return, and Packers will now take over 1st and 10 at just about their 16-yard line with $1:03 to play here in the third, and Green Bay up by 20 to nothing. Been a difficult game for the Seahawks, but again, a lot of it has been just not very lucky with putting the ball on the ground a couple of times. Let's see, quarterback for the Packers. They have alternated quarterbacks. Looks like Clifford back in there now. No, it's Elgersma, I think, who's back in the game, and he goes under center 1st and 10. Single setback behind him. Wide outs to both sides. Might be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Goes back under center, long count, turn, all that for a handoff straight ahead and a gain of a yard. Sometimes you can outthink yourself.
Yeah, there was a lot of things going on pre-snap there, but didn't amount to much.
So the clock continues to move. 1:12 to play here in the quarter. Elgersma, by the way, from Ontario, Canada, was a second-round draft choice by Winnipeg of the CFL. But he wanted to give it a shot. He wanted to try to play in the NFL, so here he is in camp with the Packers. 2nd down and 9. Turns, hands, straight ahead, driving those legs. That's Davis Price, Tyreen Davis Price, out of LSU. Another one of those young running backs who's trying to find a place on the team. He bowled his way ahead for 7.
Did you ever at the end of your career think about going and playing in Canada?
Never. No. Well, I knew. When the end was there, I kind of knew. Even though I was ready to stop playing and ready to go into broadcasting, and I kind of held out hope for a little while. But no, Canada I never thought about that. First of all, I don't speak the language very well. 3rd down and 2. Again, straight ahead handoff, trying to spin out of tackles and unable to is Davis Price. And again, the Seahawks just swarming in to make the tackle. I think bringing the real heat at the end there was Jarek Reed.
This is the end of the third.
That'll do it for 3 quarters here at Lambeau Field. 3 in the books. The Seahawks' final preseason game of this 2025 year trail the Packers 20-0.
For the Seahawks, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize your performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving game day broadcasts from lag time, connecting 60,000 plus live fans at the stadium, delivering benefits of the cloud for your network, secure as a defensive line, legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Service is not available everywhere.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable
unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hit again. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Short drop back to pass to the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/pro-shop.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
For the Packers, 2 straight 3-and-outs here in this second half. The Seahawks defense has tightened up considerably. The Packers are getting set to punt this ball away on 4th down. Any yard? White is deep for the Hawks. Cody White, veteran in this league, out of Michigan State. Again, Dave, you talked about it. Big battle of wide receiver. There are a lot of good guys there. Not everybody's going to make the team. White traveling over to the far right side, makes the catch, makes a man miss. Across the 15, cuts upfield at the 20, gets a block 25, out to the 30, jumps over a man to the 40. Nice return by Cody White. On the practice squad of the Hawks on and off from 23 and 2023 and 2024. And again, he's going to make the job difficult for the Seahawks coaches as he has a nice return there. Good, big-bodied wide receiver. Picks up 34 on the return.
Yeah, and he sort of made something out of nothing there.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a lot of movement there, and yeah, then I'll wait till after this play. But I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they, get rid of guys, who they keep, and look at different teams and see, if there's any talent out there that's better than theirs.
Movement up front. White stays in as a wide receiver on the near side. While we're waiting for this to play itself out, let's check in with Jen because this is exactly what you're going to talk about, Jen. Communication, and sometimes things are missing and guys jump offside.
Well, and Cooper Kupp this week was saying everything is problem solving on the field. And I know you can relate to this, Steve, as a former wide receiver. He said, look, it looks one way in practice. It's totally different out there. But what he really appreciates is the communication and the intent behind every play and how clearly that is delivered to everybody on the offense.
Here's a 1st and 15. Milroe gets decent protection, then has to scramble near side, throws to the near sideline. Ball is caught, tiptoeing near the 40, make it the 35-yard line of the Packers, and it's a catch, and it's going to be in for a first down, a 27-yard catch. And I couldn't actually, was it Cody White? It was.
Cody White once again.
Well, he's had 2 big plays here. He's looking to take a break. He was headed to the sidelines, and there's nobody left on the sidelines, so he came running back onto the field of play. Yeah, big punt return, and now a big, long completion, 37 yards. Now he'll line up wide in a slot to the left side on 1st and 10 from the Packer 37. Handoff, straight ahead. Jacardier right finds a little bit of running room, maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, you mentioned Cody White with the punt return, and then he makes that catch. I mean, we haven't had a lot of back-to-back good plays, right? I mean, it's just been kind of very hit and miss, and he's a big part of that, and it looks like he's sparking what could be the very first scoring drive.
Hawks come out with a tight trip set on the left side. Milroe from the shotgun, right just to his left in the backfield. Wide out to the right side, play fake. Milroe's going to run left side, got some blocking, turns upfield, first down, run out of bounds. Near the 20-yard line of the Packers, that's what this young man does best. The play fake, ride inside like we used to run the old wishbone, and then the quarterback keeps it and takes off around the end, and he just runs away from everybody until he gets to the secondary and is pushed out of bounds.
Well, he had a tight end in front of him. I think that was Marshall Lang that just laid a really good block. And I feel like that play right there is much more suits him. They just haven't run a lot of those. Kind of a little bit of a misdirection that freed him up with a lead blocker. A
15-yard gain. Here's a handoff to the wide receiver, Ricky White, who started in the slot right side, then came back to the left in motion, was handed the ball, only picked up a couple of yards. A good job by the Packers staying at home on the backside defensively and making that play. So the Seahawks pulling some things out of the bag of tricks offensively here, things we haven't seen during preseason thus far.
Yeah, a little fly sweep there, and that really keeps your defense, the defense balanced. They have to, you can't overplay one side or another. And, yeah, I mean, we're starting to see this is more like what Jalen Milroe is built for.
Milroe takes the shotgun snap, stops, looks, throws, ball is caught, heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks! And it is White again, Cody White with the reception. 3 big plays on this drive, counting the punt return from 18 yards out. The throw just a little high, but it had to be to get over the defender. And White makes the catch, pulls it down in the end zone. 6 points, the Seahawks on the board now, 20-6.
That wasn't the prettiest pass in the world. A little wobbly there, but it was on target, man. And, Cody White, you put together 3 plays there. I don't know, we'll have to get the yardage here, but you need to put that on film and say, this is how you make a team. In the last preseason game, he just turned it on.
Jason Myers with the PAT. It's up and good. And so 11:59 to play in the game here at Lambeau Field. Seahawks aren't out of this thing by any stretch. 20-7, the Packers on top on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Imagine if I told you that an earthquake was going to hit tomorrow right where you live. That it would be 6.5 in magnitude with aftershocks occurring twice 25 minutes apart. You'd no doubt talk with your loved ones and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you an earthquake will happen tomorrow. But what if it does? Shouldn't you have a plan? Visit Oregon.gov/OMD/OEM and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by the Oregon Office of Emergency Management, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
This scoring drive recap brought to you by the Chevy Equinox. From the sporty RS to the adventurous active trim and even the EV, Equinox is where Northwest adventures begin. A 5-play, 57-yard drive, 2:47 off the clock with Milroe hitting Cody White for 18 yards and a touchdown. White also had a 25-yard touchdown reception in there and a terrific punt return to help set that drive up. So that was the Cody White drive, if you will. And Jen, I feel bad because you didn't get to actually give a touchdown call, and we were all hoping to be able to hear that during your second quarter time here at the controls of the Good Ship Seahawks broadcast. Here's Jason Myers kicking from left to right, and he booms this one out of the back of the end zone.
How about Jason Myers last week making that tackle? That was fantastic. I mean,
you're not always as complimentary of kickers as you could be, but Jason, we got a couple of great ones, by the way. You are complimentary of them.
Oh, man. I mean, Dixon with what he had the third highest average in punt net in NFL history. Yeah. So I mean, I think we take those guys for granted, but I really think it's a bonus that you get your kicker to make a tackle like that. That is, he's okay in my book.
Well, and those guys are team guys, and they understand. Hey, if they get past everybody else and it is him and me, then I better make this play because he'll end up in the end zone. Clifford back in at quarterback for the Packers. 1st and 10 from his own 35. He's under center. Single set back behind him with a tight trip set left. Toss left, coming near side, looking for some running room, breaking one tackle. Can't break another across the 35. A host of Seahawk tacklers in there. Reed among them. Tupatala, I beg your pardon, the former Husky, in on that tackle as well.
Yeah, he looks like kind of like Drake Thomas. He's kind of built that way. Maybe a little bit on the shorter side, but man, he just delivered a hit there that you could hear up here in the booth.
Held that play to just a 2-yard gain. The former 3-year starter at the University of Washington, Alfonso Tupatala, signed a few weeks ago with the Hawks. Clifford has time. Now he doesn't. Now he gets hit. He's going to go down. The Anthony Bell on the blitz. The Seahawks rushed a host of players, and that's what's going to be key for Mike McDonald's defense this year is you might have 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, but which 4 are actually going to rush?
Yeah.
And that is what puts the offense in a bind. A loss of 9 on that sack.
Well, that's the thing. They're very disciplined about, really selling the blitz. And, a lot of people just do it and kind of go through the motions, but there are lots of times where you can't tell who's rushing.
Single setback. Clifford looking to throw, has time, throws near side, ball is caught. Swung out of bounds is Swinson, the tight end, on the near sideline for a 5-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Packers, and now it's actually 4th down and long. And it's going to be punting time for Daniel Whelan. It's been quite a show by the 2 punters here today.
Yeah, it's amazing to me what Michael Dixon does. That punt earlier in the game, actually it was in the first quarter, he just backed that thing up. It was like a golf shot with spin on it.
Cody White, the deep man, at the 20, makes the catch, turns upfield, looks for some running room, breaks one tackle, can't break the second across the 30 to the 31. Good coverage by the Packers special teamers. Cody White. And so with 9:42, he's all over with 9:42 to play here in the game. Packers continue to lead the Seahawks 20-7 on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
I was in the hospital with my son for 18 months.
When he got injured, I wasn't prepared, but I knew I had to be strong.
When I was told about John's injury, I was in complete shock. I just remember rushing into his room and giving him a big hug and letting him know I was there.
These veterans and families are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For thousands of severely injured veterans, everyday life is filled with barriers.
It was really the little things throughout the house. Counters that you can't roll up to. How to drag my wheelchair down steps.
I want to help, but he is so determined.
At Homes for Our Troops, we build specially adapted custom homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and automatic door openers that allow them to function independently and focus on their recovery and family.
This house is freedom. It's hope. It's a new beginning.
This house has given me my family back.
To learn more, visit hfotusa.org.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14.
13?
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. He realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Say, fans, you want to see Blue Thunder and the Seahawks Panthers perform up close? Or you're looking to watch all the early NFL games and listen to our pregame show live or play in the gaming zone? Then Ticketmaster Tailgate in the Lumen Field Event Center should be part of your game day routine. It's open 3 hours before kickoff, so bring the whole family and experience the excitement. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at their own 31-yard line here in the fourth quarter, trailing by 13. Handoff left side, out across the 35-yard line for a 5-yard gain. And that was, I think, Martinez. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and he carried number 91, Warren Brinson, on his back for all 5 yards.
Well, and you guys talked about this. You and Jen talked about it. They compare him a lot to Marshawn.
Yeah.
He's not as big as Marshawn, but he is strong.
Yeah, he refuses to go down, and he was basically giving that defensive lineman a piggyback ride.
Play fake to him this time. Milroe looks to the left side. Now he's going to scramble back out to the right. Now he's going to throw right sideline. Ball tipped away. Ball was intended on the near side for Marshall Lang, and it was just a little bit late, incomplete. Jen?
Keeping an eye on the Seahawks defense, we have not seen a lot of DeMarcus Lawrence in the preseason, saw plenty of him during the joint practice, but it doesn't mean that he is not making an impact. In fact, it was Aiden Dirty last week who said, boy, he just makes my job so much easier. Leo Williams said it this week, too. The way that he sees the game, the veteran presence, it has done a lot for folks. Cannot wait to see what happens in the regular season.
Yeah, I know at least 3 people, that's you, me, and Dave, who can't wait to see him actually in action. Here's a 3rd down and 5 for Milroe. Takes the shotgun snap. He's going to let it fly up over the top. A one-handed catch, almost bringing that catch in. On the far side was Tyrone Broden. The rookie out of Arkansas just could not get a second paw up there to bring it down. And 4th down upcoming for the Hawks, and Michael Dixon comes back out onto the field.
Well, I'll tell you what, the reason why he couldn't get that other hand up there is he was being held. The corner just had his entire left forearm curled up in his arm. I'm surprised he didn't complain a little bit more about that to the official, and I'm surprised the official didn't see it.
Well, I'm guessing, the officials have a plane to catch. Here's a nice kick by Dixon. Catch is made. Out across the 25 to the 30, turning upfield far sideline. Run out of bounds is Shepard in front of the Seahawks bench. Tyus, the running back, was there to push him out of bounds, but a flag is down.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Packers.
I think so. So a nice return is going to be nullified.
Holding, number 81. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. 1st down. Timeout.
It's going to go against backup wide receiver Julian Hicks, and we will take another timeout with 8:42 to play in the game. Packers on top of the Seahawks, 20-7.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Today's students are smart, savvy, and heading towards a future filled with possibilities. Education is the light that can help guide them on their path to fulfilling their dreams. That's why Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. With every lottery game you play in the pursuit of making your dreams a reality, you're supporting the next generation of game changers who are using education as the way to reach theirs. Thanks for playing, Washington.
David, honey, this is your Seahawks intervention.
I don't have a problem.
David, you painted the entire house action green.
So?
You wanted to name our daughter the 12s. Listen, download the Fuel Forward app. Every 8+ gallon fill up at 76 and Conoco stations gives you a chance to win a VIP game day experience.
I can fuel my car and my Seahawks obsession.
In moderation, David. In moderation. Terms and conditions apply. See official rules at 76.com/Seahawks-rules.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hitting it. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Short drop back to pass to the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
Seahawks defense here in this second half have held Green Bay to just 17 yards. They really stepped up and played well, getting guys to the point of attack. Offense has had its moments as well after a couple of turnovers in the first half.
It's been the Cody White show.
It really has, especially in this quarter. Eldersma now at quarterback for the Packers. He goes under center, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Wideouts to both sides. Toss sweep coming left side. Starting inside, bouncing it back out, and then getting swept off his feet is Amar Johnson. O'Toole on the tackle.
Yeah, it was good recovery by O'Toole out there on the edge, because I know it's going to get old this year, me complaining about it, but the offensive lineman was holding him.
Really?
He was being held.
I'll be done.
He was cheating. But no, he did a good job of disengaging there, because you really have to. I mean, it is legal to hold in the NFL. It's just you get to a certain point where you have to let go. But he did a really good job, O'Toole did, staying outside there.
2nd down and 3 for the Packers. Clock keeps moving inside of 8 minutes to play. Toss goes the other way this time. That'd be the right side. Not very much to do there at all. Johnson on the sweep. That Connor O'Toole has been a good story in training camp as well. The rookie out of Utah. He started his career at Utah as a wide receiver. And that tells you how tough he is, because they've moved him to outside linebacker / defensive end in college. And so he's done a nice job here today. 3rd down and 1 for the Pack. Elgersma out of the shotgun. Back standing next to him with a slot left side. Move to the left side as the quarterback. Now he cuts back to the right, dumps the ball off to his running back, who breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, has a 1st down, and then some. That was made by Eldersma, who the Seahawks were not able to corral. They had him in their sights. They just couldn't bring him down. He just tossed the ball to his running back, Johnson, who did the rest. Picked up 9 and a 1st down. Packers keep control of the ball and the clock. 6:50 and counting, and a 13-point Green Bay lead.
Boy, watching Jared Ivey out there, and that was, he's been playing really well, and they know that he's a dog, as they say. And it looked like he was going to be hurt and out of this game, and he's come back and made some really big plays.
Handoff straight ahead, once again to Johnson. Kind of a battering ram at 5'10", 205, out of South Dakota State. Picks up 4 more.
And when I say he made big plays, a lot of times it's just turning the play back in so somebody else can make a tackle, or, staying on the backside and being disciplined and things like that. And, yeah, he's really shown up, and he's just one of those guys you hear about every year, that this guy is out of nowhere, and he absolutely is one of the toughest guys on the team.
2nd down and 6. Eldersma under center, going to turn in hand. Carrying the ball this time is Tyrion Davis-Price. He's going to pick up a couple, maybe 3. nobody shows any sign of wanting to stop the clock, especially after the kind of a number of injuries that the Seahawks had in the first half. They don't want to get anybody else hurt. The Packers just running the ball here as much as they can. Third down now and 3. It's the ball at the Green Bay 45. Play fake. Elgersma's going to look, starts right, now turns, dumps the ball off yet again. Underneath handoff to his running back. He was in the arms of a defender ready to be sacked and just sort of underhanded it to Davis Price, who picked up 6 and a first down, and the clock continues to move, and so do the Packers. 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think Seth Coleman almost had him there, and what a great play by the quarterback there, just to kind of, it was like a little lateral. Nice job by him.
4:45 to play in the game. Now 2 tight ends in for the Packers. Here's the toss again, going to Johnson. He gets jumped on and brought down. Coleman, among others, in on the tackle. There are some on both sides of the ball, Dave, offense and defense, of these young guys who've played virtually the whole game.
Yeah.
Now, you know, that stuff, when you're halfway through the season and you're a veteran and you know how to play in the National Football League, when you're a young guy, go with your hair on fire every play, there are going to be some tired kids on that plane tonight.
Yeah. And sore tomorrow.
And sore tomorrow. 2nd down and 7 at the Seattle 45, handoff straight ahead, trying to bounce off of a tackle but can't. Hanging on at the bottom of that pile for dear life, and he just was not going to give it up. Tuputala again. He made a ton of tackles at the UW. You know, he's not a very big guy, 6'1", 230. But he started 14 games the year the Dogs went to the national championship. So he was one of their best players on defense.
Yeah, he makes tackles all over the field, and, you know, you can see when he's playing out there, you get kind of a glimpse of what this defense is going to be about this year.
Packers 6 of 16 on 3rd down. Looking at a 3rd down and 6 here. Handoff straight ahead. Trying to fall forward to get it. I don't think he did. Is Johnson again. Ivy, I think, was in on that tackle. One more time. Yep, he's the last guy up off the bottom of the pile.
Just remember how much fun this defense was to watch last year in the second half. Once they got their inside backers fixed up, Ernest Jones, they brought him in, and then everything just kind of took off. And if you look at the numbers from last year, Rage, I mean, they were either number 1 or number 2 in scoring, yards allowed, passing yards. So this is going to be a really exciting defense to watch.
4th down and less than a yard. Elgersman's going to get hit, and he's going to go down. A sack by the Seahawks on a 4th down and less than a yard. The Packers tried to get cute. They've been running the ball well. This time they wanted Elgersman to throw the ball, play fake, and he gets hit by not 1 but 2 Seahawks for a loss of 10 yards. And the ball goes over to the Seahawks on downs with 2:39 left to play in the game. Who turned the stereo up in here? I can barely hear myself think.
Turn that damn racket down.
And that was
grumpy old man up here.
That's right. Tuputala was one of those 2 Seahawks who was there on the play.
Yeah, Ivy got there first, and then Tuputala came in and finished it off. So, yeah, I mean, both those guys have been all over the field.
Terrific play by those 2 young guys. So here's Milroe now under center on 1st and 10. He's going to hand off. Getting hit in the backfield for no gain. In fact, maybe even a loss on the play of 2 yards. Right back to the line of scrimmage. That would have been Tyus. Now 2nd down and 12 from the shotgun. Slot to the far side. Quick throw near side. Ball is caught. Falling out of bounds after the reception is Ricky White, the 3rd. The rookie from UNLV got a little of that yardage back. Still going to be 3rd down, though, after a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 6.
Never thought Kenny Mayne's name would come up in the broadcast today. How about that? I remember that he was a quarterback at UNLV.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He tried out with the Seahawks in 1982. The year I retired, he was trying out as a quarterback. And then, of course, had a spectacular career at ESPN. Now he's writing and doing comedy and all kinds of great stuff. Great to catch up with him. Milroe on third down backs away, chased out of the pocket, and now run out of bounds in front of the Packers bench. Going to bring up fourth down.
Well, Jalen Milroe looks like he would be very frustrating to pass rush. You know, and if you're a coach trying to get a pass rush on that guy, and, you know, we talked about it earlier that, you know, some teams will just do kind of that mush rush, you know, where it's like nobody goes too far upfield just to keep the quarterback in the pocket. And I think he's going to cause those kinds of problems.
It was a loss of 2 on that scramble, so it's fourth down now and 7 at the Packers 47 for Milroe and company, who's got a slot to his left side. Packers look like they want to blitz, and they do. Milroe steps, throws far side, ball is caught, first down, turning upfield, stepping out of bounds, inside the 25-yard line of the Packers is that guy again, Cody White. He has had himself a second half, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Seahawks pick up the first down on a 26-yard gain. We'll pause as the Packers lead the Seahawks 20-7.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am."
T-Mobile has the best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H2025. See T-Mobile.com/network.
With NFL Plus, keep the NFL in reach. Stream live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime games on mobile during the regular and postseason, and NFL Network, including 7 exclusive live games. With NFL Plus Premium, watch every touchdown every Sunday afternoon during the regular season on NFL Red Zone. And for a limited time, save 20% on an annual NFL Plus Premium subscription. Offer ends September 15th. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply.
David, honey, this is your Seahawks intervention.
I don't have a problem.
David, you painted the entire house action green.
So?
You wanted to name our daughter the 12s. Listen, download the Fuel Forward app. Every 8+ gallon fill up at 76 and Conoco stations gives you a chance to win a VIP game day experience.
I can fuel my car and my Seahawks obsession.
In moderation, David. In moderation. Terms and conditions apply. See official rules at 76.com/Seahawks-rules.
Football season is here, and it's time for 2 premier Northwest franchises to team up. Columbia Bank, your local bank, and the Seattle Seahawks. As the largest bank headquartered in the Northwest, Columbia Bank is the home team you can count on. Learn more about Columbia's premier service and innovative digital solutions at columbiabank.com or visit a local branch. Columbia Bank, proud partner of the Seattle Seahawks, member FDIC.
Pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Columbia Bank Radio Network.
96.1, 580 The Game, KTMT 580 AM, and K241CA 96.1 FM Ashland.
A reminder coming up on the Seahawks postgame show, Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer are going to break this game down. Been a nice change here in the second half. Seahawks have really played well. You're going to hear also from Mike McDonald, and Jen is going to speak with Seahawks players. It's all coming up after the game. Milroe, by the way, 13 of 24 for 148 yards and a touchdown. He's thrown to 8 different receivers, so it gives you a sense that he is scanning the field. If his first guy, second guy not available, he'll look for the third option. But he's been able to complete some passes and then run on top of that. So the Seahawks first and 10 at the Packers' 22-yard line. Again, trailing by 13. Looking to jump on the scoreboard here as this clock continues to wind down. Milroe from the shotgun. Has White in the slot on the right side. Single setback beside him. In the backfield, the ball goes through the hands of Milroe on the ground. It's recovered by the Packers, picked up by one of their defensive players, and he gets it back into Seattle territory. And what an awful way for things to end for Jalen Milroe.
Recovered by the defense.
The third time he's turned the ball over, and I don't know if the snap looked like it might have been a little off-line to him. Aaron Mosby was the guy who picked it up and rumbled into Seahawks territory. But, oh, man, the Seahawks had a great opportunity here, and Milroe for whatever reason, was not able to corral that shotgun snap.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that snap was pretty much on target. I mean, it didn't hit him in the numbers, but it was just off to his right a tiny bit. And he's probably just looking, got ahead of himself, trying to look downfield.
Yep. It's that thing you talked about, just to get the snap.
This play is under review.
I guess they're going to review whether he was touched while he was on the ground after he recovered the fumble and then ran all the way to
the runner was down by contact at the 31-yard line. First down, Green Bay.
So it's going to go back to where...
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Back to where that ball was recovered after the fumble by Milroe back at the 41 of the Packers, and they'll take over there. It's still a recovered fumble and still in possession of Green Bay. But again, all those things that a young guy and a young quarterback, first-year quarterback trying to learn a brand-new system, all those things running through his mind, checking the coverages, checking alignments, and then here comes the snap. And that's the one thing you really better make sure of, is that you grab the snap.
You can have a play off here and there if you're a linebacker or an offensive lineman, but quarterback, you got to be right on every play.
You really do. A knee taken by Clifford on this first down, and the Packers are just going to let the clock wind down, and the Seahawks have all three of their timeouts, as does Green Bay, and neither sideline wants to call a timeout here at this point. So these two teams got together on Thursday, beat on each other pretty good. There were even a few aspersions cast and maybe even a fist or two thrown. And then they came out here today, played hard in this final preseason contest. The Seahawks looked like they were going to let it get away from them, but they did not. Played well here in the second half. Just unable to put the points on the board to catch up to Green Bay. There's the second kneel down with $1:13 to play, and the clock will continue to move.
Well, I think we'll be looking back on this 4 or 5 years from now when Jalen Milroe is an accomplished NFL player and say, remember how he started? Because, it's been a little bit rough for him today. But I'll tell you what, I still believe in the kid. I mean, he's a fantastic personality. If anybody can bounce back from this, it's definitely him. And look, it wasn't all bad.
No, not at all.
He had some spectacular plays, and you could see, some of the talent that he has on display out there a couple of times. So
there's the final kneel down. The two head coaches are the first ones to meet at midfield. A lot of respect between those two guys, Mike McDonald, Matt LaFleur. They enjoyed their workout together, even if some of the players maybe didn't enjoy it quite as much. But it was good for both teams, and those guys all know each other pretty well. And now, through all of whatever happened in the last couple of days, most of the players all coming to the center of the field saying congratulations. And I got a feeling we'll see you at the end of the season, because these are two teams that could very well end up at playoff time as they're setting off fireworks here at Lambeau Field. Been a good football game, mistakes made without question, but a lot of good things that the coaches could see, a lot of things to work on, and maybe the most important, Dave, is that now we've gotten past preseason, and the starters, as we talked about during the pregame, who've been looking now at that opening game against San Francisco, the entire team, all 70, can focus on that now.
Well, the other thing I loved about the first game of the year, and after the cuts, it's tough for some people, but you look around the locker room and go, okay, these are my guys. This is who we're rolling with for the next 17 or 18 weeks. And it's kind of a good feeling, and I can't wait to see what this team is. I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a bummer way to end the preseason, but man, we saw some fantastic things. And obviously today we didn't see the full force of their offense or defense. So this team looks really good. I'm as I'm as excited about this team as I've ever been since you and I have been doing this together, Raves.
And that's, 25, 26 years now.
Well, for you.
Yeah.
I'm not that old.
Today's final score, the Packers 20, the Seahawks 7. You've been listening to the Columbia Bank Radio Network. I want to thank our crew on statistics. Nate Larisha. Nate, where did you drive in from? Ohio to do this game?
Yeah, Nate the Great.
He is a pro, buddy. He loves to do this. Studio, even though he doesn't like me very much. Studio coordinators Brady Robick and Ian Douglas. Our engineer, Brenna Rogers. The executive producer of the Seahawks Radio Network is Nasa Chobe, who was right here on the controls producing the broadcast today. And the Seahawks director of broadcasting is Brian O'Connell. Seahawks kick off their 50th season, oh my goodness, with a divisional matchup with the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, September 7th. Seahawks pregame show begins at 11 a.m. Pacific. Coming up next, you're going to hear from Coach McDonald and his players on the Seahawks postgame show. Once again, our final, the Packers 20, the Seahawks 7. For Jen Mueller and Dave Wyman, I'm Steve Rabel. Thanks so much for being with us. The Seahawks may have lost this one, but it all now starts to count. Sunday, September 7th, we will see you at Lumen Field against the 49ers.
Seahawks football has been brought to you by Lumen, the trusted network for AI. Beacon Plumbing. Stop freaking, call Beacon.